Our team at the Racecourse Ground, former Scotland striker Chris Wellamo and match commentator Adam Bridge waiting for us here. Listen, it was a winning start under Ryan Mason last weekend. He's obviously being very practical with the fact that they've lost so many players. It was a scrappy 1-0 victory, but 3 points are 3 points, Chris.
Exactly. It's a result business, isn't it, Faye? And I think I've been impressed. They showed a different side to them. West Brom, had less possession than Blackburn. So what do? They go a little bit more direct from back to front. When you're looking at that front three, front four, Tom Fellows, Carlin Grant, Hegerber up top, and Isaac Price, who, like you say, I think only Tom Fellows has created more opportunities than Tom Fellows since he's come into the building. So I just feel that he's got that adaptability. Ryan Mason, I think he's shown that you can get it down, you can play, try and go back to the Carlos Corberán way, with a little bit more detail. I think he's had 8+ years experience as a coach, probably been ready for a number one spot for the last 18 months to 2 years. I know that's what he's come out and said. So no, he's fallen into a very, very good club. He's going to get the support. And like you say, I think it's part and parcel, the politics, players going in, players obviously going out as well, that you have to handle as a manager. But no, he's got a very, very strong squad there. I think they want to see more of the ball today, have a little bit more control of the game, and then obviously in those attacking areas, then I think they will cause Wrexham a lot of problems.
We mentioned earlier on 2 new signings coming in the last 24 hours. Christian Bielik from rivals Birmingham is a big one for me. I think that's a really good signing. I don't know that much about Toby Collier on loan from Manchester United on a 1-year deal. Shrewd bit of business without a doubt. Obviously not playing today, which is a problem. However, the team that is starting here and what they've got on the bench, should this be comfortable for West Brom today?
Well, it's a championship, Faye.
Nothing's comfortable.
Nothing. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. It's about who you got to go out there, win those individual battles. Of course, they'll have they'll give them a kind of game plan to go, and that's the blueprint. The players still have to take responsibility and go and solve those problems when they're out there. But they've got enough experience. Malumbi and Mowat in that midfield. I think they have a real good understanding, good relationship, which I like. Malumbi has that fire. You have to make sure that he's a little bit reckless at times, but he's the ones that get the fans up off the seats and going sometimes with a little kind of hard, strong challenge. But like when you look at that front four, they've got great quality. Tom Fellows, one of their own, came through the ranks, absolute outstanding ability, great quality, end product, and brings goals as well.
He certainly does, and they know this league inside out, probably more than they'd like to. West Brom, the fans would love to be back in the Premier League. Could it be another push for promotion for them this season? Cracking atmosphere at the Racecourse Ground. Wrexham looking to carry over that home form into the Championship. The players are out. Sit back and enjoy live and exclusive EFL Championship football on the home of the EFL Talksport 2 in the company of former Scotland striker Chris Wellamo and your match commentator Adam Bridge.
Thank you, Faye. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's been a long time coming. It was back in 1982 that Wrexham beat Rotherham here. That was courtesy of a Mick Vinter hat-trick, but it wasn't enough to prevent relegation that day from the second tier, and they've not been back since. That is, of course, until now, and the Racecourse Ground is packed to the rafters. Hollywood is in attendance, and for the start of their home championship campaign. And they'll enter the home side of this with confidence. Just 6 teams have taken 3 points from here in the league in the last few years. West Brom are the latest side to try and smuggle away a victory, but their record when crossing the border is poor. Just 1 win in Wales in their last 7 visits. Ryan Mason was just 12 when Phil Parkinson took charge of his first game in management. For Mason, he's just 16 games in. Their experience is worlds apart, as are their budgets, but their ultimate goal is the same, and that's promotion to the Premier League. And they'll both hope to take another step towards that this afternoon. Here are the 2 teams for you. Wrexham, 1 change. Kekeche is out today. McLean comes in, so it's Ward in goal. Cleworth, Cody and Brunt, the back 3. The wing-backs are Barnett and McLean, and it's Dobson, James and O'Brien in midfield, with Windass and Moore up top. Okonkwo, O'Connell, Hardy, Mendy, O'Connor, Smith, Broadhead, Lee and Longman are amongst the substitutes. As for West Brom, one change there as well. Heckham's been sold. In comes Campbell. So it's Griffiths in goal. Furlong, Phillips, Campbell and Styles at the back. Malumbi and Moat in midfield. Fellows, Price and Grant supporting Hegeba up top. Wildsmith, Bielik, Wallace, Madger, Johnson, Collier, Taylor, Diakite and Cole are the substitutes for Ryan Mason's side. Here we go then, about to get underway. The man in charge is John Busby, and as you can hear, they have been waiting 43 years for this second-tier appearance at the racecourse grounds, and boy are they loud, Chris Owellamo.
Yeah, it's absolutely rocking, isn't it? So important now that the players feed off that, really get into the faces of West Brom and try and force the issue, force the error, and then, like you say, show them what we all know that they can do is get the ball down. They can play that expansive game as well.
We're about to get underway. It's going to be West Bromwich Albion in their traditional blue and white stripes, white shorts and blue socks that are going to get us underway, kicking from left to right. The home side, of course, the Red Dragons are in their red shirts, their white shorts and their red and white socks. And immediately it's Josh Griffiths launching a ball forward towards the edge of that West Bromwich Albion penalty area. And down this near touchline, the attack is on and the offside flag is up already. And it will be a free kick to Wrexham from level with the edge of their own 6-yard area. And it's going to be the first touch of the ball today for Danny Ward away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, as soon as Furlong has the opportunity, just a little bit of quality, a little dink down the right-hand side. Fellows always kind of playing on the shoulder, trying to get in behind, rather than just coming back, slowing it down, you know, finding Phillips or Malumbi and keeping possession of the ball.
Well, immediately here, Kiefer Moore and Darnell Furlong straight away in a grappling match on this near side, and Moore was the player that was brought to the ground by Furlong. The referee not in the slightest bit interested, much to the annoyance of the people around us. Looked like a foul to me, but
yeah, I've got to agree. You know, I think both are pulling a little bit, then Furlong's arm comes across the chest, the neck area of Moore.
It's Moore's feet who do the work this time on halfway, controlling that ball forward from Danny Ward very nicely. And it's picked up on this left-hand side by Lewis Brunt, who will just play the ball infield, and they're happy to keep the ball and move it round at the back, as we know, time and time again. This Wrexham side, very comfortable in possession. Lovely switch of play to the right-hand side. Ryan Barnett's there, and he's on a charge. He came on as a sub on Tuesday night in that penalty shootout victory over Hull. What drama for the start of the Carabao Cup. You heard live across the Talksport network, and particularly here, 3-1 down as the 90th minute arrived, finished 3-3, and then winning that penalty shootout. It was an enthralling evening. Didn't learn too much about Wrexham that night, to be fair, because it was 11 changes. And once again today, of course, it's that one enforced change. Dekache is absent from the squad, but when you can bring in someone like James McLean, it's a perfect replacement, really.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get from James. You know, he's a leader, isn't he? He goes out there, he sets the bar, he pulls people up. He's got that bit of aggression as well, always communicating, keeping the ball very well. I have to say, Wrexham, you know, and then trying to kind of suck that defensive unit of West Brom out, and then it's Josh Windass looking to get in behind there.
Lewis O'Brien, summer signing, of course, from Nottingham Forest, £5 million. He was a club record until the arrival of Broadhead yesterday. For double that is where that deal's going to end up. West Brom have possession here down the right-hand side. Chance to get forward for Fellows. He's to the byline already. Right-footed ball clipped towards that back post, and it's just over the top of Hegeba, who was waiting to try and pick up possession. Here's Moat, though, down that left-hand side for West Bromwich Albion. Back in field they go to Jason Malumbi, the Irish international. Will square the ball up to Furlong. Here's Fellows again on this right-hand side. Chance to attack and dribble again. Tom Fellows on this right-hand side, near touchline, towards the edge of the penalty area. But James McLean gets there first, wins the ball back, and will collect the foul as well. And that's something he's exceptionally good at doing.
Yeah, you know, he's watching the ball all the time there. Tom Fellows drops his shoulder, you know, good, strong, fair challenge as well. But Fellows just has to understand, let him go then. Don't give the foul away. I've got to say, I think Lewis Brunt winning all his aerial duels. Phil Parkes will be concerned that they're not picking up enough second balls. You know, Hegeba, great little bit of quality out to Fellows there, and straight away breaking his neck to get into the central areas. So it's important that they start picking up second balls.
Fellows, the real danger man for West Bromwich Albion, 14 assists in the Championship last season. Again, Kiefer Moore wants the foul, and Those around us agree as McLean wins the second header.
Well, the referee's got to keep an eye on it this time. Kiefer Moore's hands are in the air. Furlong's just having his both arms around the midriff. It's a free kick. Can't go anywhere, can't move.
Here's Moore again going up to win the header. This time he does win the flick. Gets it on towards Josh Windass, but it's cleared away by Furlong. And then a first header for George Campbell in his first league start for West Bromwich Albion. Again, Fellows wins that ball back on halfway. So impressive, the academy man from West Bromwich Albion. It was, of course, with the England under-21s in that victorious campaign in the Euros this summer.
Kiefer Moore's not going to get any joy if he drops in beside Windass. He has to go right up in between the likes of Phillips and Campbell. And then when that ball goes, because at the minute, Mowat or Malumbi's just stepping in and blocking his run. And straight away, if you're looking at the flight of the ball, that's you're at a disadvantage.
As we said about the facilities here at Wrexham, it is a wonderful club. We are all tightly packed into our press area. I'm feeling what it used to be like when someone was man-marking Chris Owellamo. Those broad shoulders just bustling into me every few seconds. It is a tight squeeze this Saturday lunchtime. You're listening to Talksport 2, 5 minutes into the game. It's 0-0, Wrexham 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Kiefer Moore again is on the floor. Nothing doing from John Busby. Took charge of 27 championship games last season. He did the second most of anyone in this second tier. So Busby gets the call today as that ball's just run out of play on the far side. Attempted to knock it forward that time was Cleworth, but he couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a throw on that far touchline to West Bromwich Albion.
Well, again, I think John Busby, I don't know if it's definitely, there must be a personal reason there, because there's been 3 fouls on big Kiefer Moore, but the right way to do it is to go, just have a little chat with the referee, make sure that he's got an eye on it, because at the minute he's got them all wrong.
Signed from Sheffield United, of course, went off against Southampton last weekend, and there wasn't much talk about when he would return, so a bit of a surprise to see his name on the team sheet today. I think it was a last-minute call and touch and go as to whether he would start or not, but he's looking lively early doors here. 6 minutes played, 0-0. A reminder, there are 2 other games going on in the Championship this lunchtime. Derby against Coventry and Portsmouth against Norwich. We'll keep you up to date as the goals go in those games as well. Also matches in League 1 and League 2, plus that Premier League game right now is up and running over on Talksport between Villa and Newcastle. His Fellows on this near touchline, beaten to it again by the attentions of Lewis Brunt, who's done really well there. Gets the ball back inside once more, where Matty James will pick it up. Some of the experience in this Wrexham midfield being provided by James, of course. 16-year career, 322 league appearances prior to today, and good physical play by Moore, who just held off Nat Phillips then and kept the ball alive here for Wrexham on halfway. McLean's early ball is towards Windass at the edge of the box. He shifts it out to the right, where Barnett's there looking to play an early ball in. It's blocked and will be chested down by Carlin Grant, and he'll clear it away, but not very far, as it's picked up by Cleworth again on that right-hand side. Now it's Barnett on the charge, right for the ball in early towards Kiefer Moore, who can't control it right at the edge of the penalty area, and it's picked up this time 5 or 6 yards outside the box for West Bromwich Albion by Mowat, and it's once more at the feet on that left-hand side of Callum Stiles, and West Brom will get a chance to clear.
Yeah, defended well. Like you say, I think West Brom getting all the second balls, that little bit of joy came from Wrexham there, because they're playing in the wrong areas, their own defensive third. Then all of a sudden they've got one of the best outlets in the league in Kiefer Moore. Got to be quality up to him. He keeps hold of the ball. They're up the pitch. James McLean plays into Josh Windass right on the 18-yard line, and then there's a chance to put the ball in the box. They have to do that. They have to start maybe going a little bit more direct, and then picking up second balls and then playing in the right areas rather than allowing the opposition to step onto them.
Slip ball through for Isaac Price to try and chase on to. Goal scorer last weekend against Blackburn. Gives it short to Mowat. Out wide to that left-hand side. Carlin Grant looking to feed the ball in. Mowat once more will just turn and try and find a bit of room. We know how dangerous he can be from distance. Lovely little layoff by Price. It'll be picked up on this right-hand side by Furlong. He's got Fellows outside of him, but goes for the early ball towards the back post. Too much on it, and it's out of play. Darling has scored for Norwich already in the game against Portsmouth, so Norwich in front there after 6 minutes, and Coventry have the lead at Pride Park as well. Bobby Thomas up from the back and on target for Coventry early on in those championship games, and a goal in League 2 as well Swindon with an early advantage at Oldham. So Oldham 0, Swindon 1. It remains goalless in the Premier League game between Villa and Newcastle. That's live right now over on Talksport. If you have the Talksport app, of course, you can just swipe between the channels and choose the games you would like to listen to, as well as all the other radio stations that are available via our sister stations. Foul on that far side, going to be a free kick for Wrexham, 10 yards inside their own half, and Mr. Wellamy is getting annoyed.
Yeah, no, they're playing well, they're using the ball well, Wrexham, but they're not getting anywhere with it. Now, if you look at the stats, you know, it's they've had a lot more of the ball, 63% possession, but like you say, it's all been in their own half. Yeah, you've got likes of Dobson and O'Brien seeing the ball, but always going back. So a little bit of information on it as well. Can they fire it into Windass' body? Then O'Brien and Dobson taking it off the foot and driving forward into the opposition's half.
West Brom, of course, drew 19 games in the Championship last season. 11 of those draws came away from home. And you'll hear the ironic cheers around us as Kiefer Moore has finally won a free kick on halfway. John Busby deciding this time round that Moore was fouled. Free kick taken quickly, and they've given possession away immediately to West Bromwich Albion. So 11 draws away from home. And in fact, they've been without an away win in 15 league games. It was the 10th of November up at Hull. The last time round West Brom won on the road. So that's going to be a real thing for Ryan Mason to try and put right starting today, as they give away possession on halfway once more, where it's picked up by Barnett, and he tracks all the way back to Danny Ward.
Well, that was very interesting there. George Campbell for West Brom has the ball probably 25 yards from his own goal, and you've got Josh Windass and Kiefer Moore both standing at either side of him. So basically stopping the ball from going into a Moua or a Malumbi and forcing it to go out to a Furlong or a Styles, and then that's it, keep them one side and go and press from there.
Brilliant run from Lewis Brunt out from defence, and McLean tries to hop it down this near touchline, and the ever reliable Darnell Furlong, who of course received 2 yellow cards last Saturday against Blackburn, but served his suspension in midweek against Derby County in the Carabao Cup. Quite an easy one that to get by, wasn't it? Missing a game that you probably wouldn't have played in anyway.
At first I thought it wasn't a second yellow, but then he's actually came through with the forearm as well. Thought the referee got it spot on.
Throw down the line, Phillips gets a foot in, of course, the former Liverpool man, another summer signing for West Brom, £3 million. He was in the Championship with Derby last season on loan. McLean goes in short here on this near side to O'Brien, who's done really well, tries to get around Fellows, then cuts infield to McLean, who's cut inside him, and then the first corner of the game will go the way of Wrexham, as McLean's attempted cross at the byline is blocked out by Darnell Furlong, and it will be a corner down this left-hand side, which will be delivered by Matty James.
Yeah, great bit of quality, isn't it? Lewis O'Brien coming, just the way to pass, a little bit of link-up play interchange as well. And obviously James McLean, it's shut down by Furlong, stopped the cross, that's what you want defensively, but attacking, getting into those right areas.
6 red shirts inside the West Brom penalty area. Every single West Bromwich Albion player is black, but they've gone to the edge of the box for Windass to fire a ball in left-footed, which he does. Wasn't the best, it was easily cleared from around the penalty spot. They'll try and put another ball in this time. Barnett towards the back post, where McLean was just about to arrive around the back. But the flag is already up for an offside, and it will be a free kick for West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, but Joshua Griffiths never knew the flag had been up. I don't know what he's waving at there. He's come out, claimed the ball. He's flapped at it. And like you say, McLean had a real opportunity, albeit yes offside, but what does that say? Put the ball right on top of Griffiths. Ask the question.
There's a swinging ball in. Here's Hegerber on halfway. Gives it short to Moat for West Brom as they look to come forward again through that centre circle. It was a good win for Ryan Mason last weekend to get the campaign off and running, of course. Appointed back in June. Previously, of course, had a spell as caretaker of Spurs. Here's Malumbi out wide on this right-hand side.
Just watch Hegerber. You know, I think fantastic player. He comes, he links up, link-up play is very, very good, but as soon as he sets or he turns, he gets himself in between those both centre-backs again, stretches the pitch. What does it do? That allows the space for Price, who basically has a free rein. He's all over the place, but he must be so hard to mark, albeit you've got the likes of Matty James, Dobson and O'Brien trying to just kind of stop that kind of line or the pass into him.
Fellows back in short here to Furlong. Furlong will find Phillips on halfway. Callum Elder has equalised for Derby in the game at Pride Park between Derby and Coventry. One apiece there at early stages, as it is here at the racecourse ground. Lovely spin. Hegerber tries to get in, but once more Matty James is first there with a boot to pick up the loose ball. And Wrexham will try and come out, but West Brom have got them hemmed inside their own half right now, and they have the ball with Malumbi on this right-hand side. He and Mowat the first choice in that central midfield right now for West Brom. Left-hand side, Mowat again trying to drive it forward with the help from Styles. Early ball played in, it's cleared away first time by Connor Cody. First time he's really got in the game from inside his own penalty area. West Brom take the throw quickly and will continue to try and probe their way through this wall of red that faces them away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, West Brom having far too much of the ball at the minute. You know, I think using it very, very well as well, being very, very patient. That's when that ball's passed back, that defensive unit of Wrexham have to step up. What does that do? Then it pushes the midfield on that, and doing that pushes then the likes of Kiefer Moore and Windass on to kind of stop West Brom. But West Brom are very, very comfortable under a very aggressive press against Blackburn last week. They went a little bit more direct because that space was in behind, but the Wrexham defensive line is dropping a little bit deeper.
Josh Sargent is in the shop window and has scored a second goal for Norwich today. Portsmouth 0, Norwich 2, 14 minutes in at Fratton Park. How long Sargent will remain at Norwich we shall see. Plenty of suitors potentially from the Premier League as well, but still scoring the goals for the Canaries. Back at the feet of Griffiths inside his own 6-yard area. No real pressure.
Can't happen. It cannot happen. As soon as the ball goes back to Griffiths, the West Brom goalkeeper, it cannot come to Malumbi. Two of the strikers have completely taken themselves out of the game.
Isaac Price, poor ball into the penalty area. Had options then. He had fellows out to his right. He went towards Hegerber, but it was a really poor pass. And Wrexham trying to play out from the edge of their own box, and in the end Danny Ward just has to get his right foot through it to clear any danger with 15 minutes on the clock. 0-0. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Reminder, we are live at Ewood Park after 3 o'clock today for our 3 o'clock commentary from the Championship, the game between Blackburn and Birmingham City. Blackburn defeated last weekend. Birmingham, of course, managing that 1-1 draw on the opening night against Ipswich. That's live from 3 this afternoon here on Talksport 2. Poor pass forward that time on that right-hand side. Cleworth just giving possession away to West Brom, and it's a little bit scrappy, Chris O'Wellerman.
Yeah, it is. You know, I've got to say, I think with and without the ball, I think West Brom have been the better team. As soon as West Brom lose the ball, boom, they're dropped in, they're a compact unit. Look at this now, Wrexham lost the ball in the middle of the opposition half, and everyone just stayed. So if that first pass can be passed forward from Alex Mowat, I'm surprised they never put Tom Fellows in straight away.
Here's Carlin Grant down that left-hand side, and the ball comes to Fellows at the edge of the 6-yard box on the right-hand side. First time on his left foot, and he fires it over the crossbar.
Yeah, he was on his own. I think he'll be disappointed with himself there. He's went for power just to try and beat Ward at that near post. Hits the target there. It'll be in the back of the net. But as I was saying, I just think if Alex Mowat played that ball forward to Fellows, he's taken out 4, 5, possibly even 6 Wrexham players. They have to be switched on. If they come up together, they drop together. They have to be a unit.
Long ball forward from Ward, straight to the feet of Nat Phillips, who had time to just take that down quite calmly as Mowat tries to drive through the midfield. His attempted pass is blocked off. Kiefer Moore's dropped in a little bit deeper this time to pick up possession inside his own half, and Wrexham will have it, but again they're getting pressed territorially here by West Brom.
Yeah, but Kiefer Moore's dropping in so that Josh Windass can get in behind, so he's playing on the shoulder, but the ball's not going. I think that you've got to do it a couple of times. You know, if it's Cody, Cleworth or Brunt, just get your head up without even just clip it over the defensive line, step up for something Windass to run onto, and then it allows you to get up and play in the right areas. Here you go, a big ball, you should win the ball.
Diagonal to Moore will help it on towards Windass, who can turn at the edge of the penalty area, forced away from goal. Windass still with the ball at feet, but has the support coming from Barnett on that right hand side. He swings the ball across, coming in for the header was McLean, and it's just tipped over the bar in the end by Griffiths. He had to, safety first. It looked like it was probably going to drop over anyway, but it will be a corner down this left hand side for Wrexham.
Well, where did it all come from? Big ball up to Kiefer Moore, he wins it. Josh Windass picks up the second balls. Great little ball out to Barnett. What a ball in it was as well. Just over Kiefer Moore, and James McLean, it's the one that comes onto it. And if it wasn't for Furlong trying to get the block in, I think it's come off the back of Furlong and over the bar there. But that's much more what Phil Parkinson will want.
Great delivery from Barnett. 9 assists last season in League One, and already showing he can deliver a fantastic ball, as does Matty James. It's cleared away though by Phillips, and it comes out to the edge of the penalty area. Windass is there. He's got support. Right-footed ball loaded into the penalty area this time, and away once more by Phillips. He got plenty of clearances in last weekend, and he's at it already today for Wrexham as well. Experienced centre-half, of course. Played a fair few games in the Premier League, etc. for Liverpool, as well as that time away at Derby on loan, as we mentioned, Cardiff, Celtic and Stuttgart as well. 100th appearance in England today for Phillips, and he's performing well so far. You're drawing circles. What are you drawing circles?
I'm looking at you've got Lewis O'Brien, Kiefer Moore and Josh Windass going pressing, and then you've got Dobson right in behind. But then there's a massive gap between the defensive unit and the midfield of Wrexham. So that's when, if you're Nat Phillips, if you're like you say, Campbell, just dink it in to Higaba or Isaac Price that's going to be in that hole.
Talking of Hagaba, he's got the ball nicely on halfway. Lovely little turn of foot to step it out to Furlong. Now to Fellows down this right-hand side. Fellows on the charge towards the byline, right-footed. Pulls that one back across, and it's a brilliant finish from the edge of the 6-yard box. And Isaac Price again. He did it last weekend, and he's done it once more for West Bromwich Albion from the edge of that 6-yard area. Simple ball from Fellows, excellent finish from Price, and it's Wrexham 0, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Yeah, it's an excellent goal. Now we speak about Higaba, gets it, he turns, he puts it out wide. Fellows gets at his man McLean, and I've got to say, rather than just try and lift it up, he just slots it. He picks out Price, he puts it into an area. Price, who has that intelligence, arrives at the box at the right time, comes on the edge of the 6-yard box, knows exactly where the goal is, and it's all about the connection, isn't it? You just made sure there's a good connection there, and I have to say Danny Ward doesn't have a chance here. It's an excellent goal.
4th senior club goal for Isaac Price. He's actually scored 9 for his country, including a hat-trick. And I think he's a player that West Bromwich Albion think very highly of. I think there's still plenty to learn as well, plenty of room for growth too, but as a striker you'll appreciate that finish.
Oh, fantastic. You know, just how he comes onto it, he's got fantastic technique as well, but the connection was great. The ball from Fellows, the weight of the pass was outstanding across the ground as well. No, everything about it. You know, like you say, Higaba, fantastic hold-up play, turn, setting your man, breaking your neck to get in the box. What does that do? It pulls players away, creates that space for Price to come into.
Well, Tom Fellows showing again his real value on that right-hand side. Players getting to the byline and picking out their man. Wrexham coming down the right.
I'm looking at it. Lewis Brunt goes back to Danny Ward. He can just give the ball to Matty James. Matty James he's got 15 yards of space, circumference around him. Give him the ball. Be brave. Get on the ball in those situations. You know what you do then? You've taken out Isaac Price. You've taken out Higaba, and then you can drive forward, and you have a numerical advantage.
And this time Matty James does get it, drives forward and then out wide to the right-hand side. Dobson will float a ball towards McLean on this near side, but it's intercepted in the middle of the park, picked up by Windass, helped on its way by O'Brien. O'Brien now to McLean on this left-hand side. He's got Kiefer Moore inside the penalty area on his right foot. McLean swings one over towards Moore, headed down by Campbell, and it's driven with real power from about 25 yards out. Hit first time by Cleworth, but it's high and wide of Griffiths' goal away to our left-hand side. And the midway point in the first half, it remains Wrexham 0, West Bromwich Albion 1 on Talksport 2.
Well, I don't think it's a bad ball from McLean at all. You know, he's got at his man, he's got at Furlong, he's come back onto his right, he's created that yard, he's put in an excellent ball, and that's where you want Kiefer Moore, a little bit more movement, get across the face of Phillips here. You know, I think you're waiting for the ball rather than being on your front foot and coming across the defender. There was a lot of pace on that, well, a bit of pace on the cross. I know you'd have to generate a little bit yourself to try and obviously beat Griffiths in goal, but yeah, I just need a little bit more from the big man up top.
Swindon now lead Oldham 2-0 in League 2. 23 minutes played here. West Bromwich Albion in front. Isaac Price again, the goal scorer for the Baggies. A reminder, we're off to Ewood Park from 3 today, at the same time as we're bringing you commentary here of Blackburn against Birmingham City. Over on Talksport, we'll be going around the grounds, of course. First afternoon of plenty of Premier League action. McLean swings that into the box, headed away, only as clear as Barnett on that far side. Barnett with a chance to maybe cross, just waits for a moment, finds Cleworth, and then back out towards Dobson. Cleworth again with a chance to deliver, but once more Barnett will swing it in right-footed towards Kiefer Moore, and it's just taken a little ricochet that time up and away off of Fellows, out to McLean down this left-hand side. McLean once more to take on Furlong, but gives it short to O'Brien, back in field for James. James to the right-hand side, Cleworth's there once more. Dropping in short this time is Josh Windass. He's going to go for an early ball into the box towards Kiefer Moore. Phillips gets the header and then away by Furlong from this right-hand side. Good pressure from Wrexham.
Yeah, much better from Wrexham, picking up second balls as well. It's an excellent ball in from Barnett, and it's beating Campbell's head as well. That's where Kiefer Moore's got to anticipate that and just get the contact.
Windass out wide to the right, finds Barnett again, who's looking to try and take on Styles, who wins his side the throw this time. So around the grounds on Talksport this afternoon, they're coming to you from the game between Sunderland and West Ham United. Now tomorrow on Talksport, if you're a West Ham fan, here's one to listen out for. The West Ham Vice Chair, Baroness Karen Brady, will be joining the Sunday edition tomorrow morning with Sean Custis and Henry Winter. They'll be discussing today's game at Sunderland, the club's transfer window, PSR, much more tomorrow morning with the Hammers Vice Chair, Baroness Karen Brady, on Sunday edition tomorrow on Talksport from 9 a.m. And reminder, Adrian is at the Stadium of Light this afternoon, taking you around the grounds on Talksport from around 2:30 this afternoon. Scrappy on halfway, but Wrexham will come away with Cleworth, and took a challenge, and a good challenge from Hegerber, and it will be a throw to Wrexham on that far side. Going to be left for Cleworth. Place has gone a little quiet with that opening goal from Isaac Price. Throw down to Kiefer Moore, holds it up nicely. Just tried to play it out wide, but he's beaten to it.
But when you come as the opposition team, and many a time it's that, you know, if we can have control of the game and get a goal, yeah, it becomes hostile very, very quickly, doesn't it? You know, so the players have to understand that there is an expectation. They have to kind of rise to that. They, if anything, feed off it, but they have to deliver something that gets this place rocking. And at the minute, I'm not seeing it. Defensive line's far too deep for me. They've got to step up, make sure that they're putting pressure on the players, the likes of Conor Cody, dropping far too deep to get the ball, even now.
Cody's right back towards the edge of the Wrexham penalty area, away to our right-hand side. Down that far touchline, working hard to try and win it was Dobson. But West Brom just managing the game and controlling things very well from the middle of the park time and time again. Malumbi's there working hard. Finds Furlong at the edge of his own penalty area. He'll go to Phillips. Phillips then almost caught in possession by Kiefer Moore, but has the quality and the wherewithal and the calmness, more importantly, to get the ball away to Fellows. Fellows is then pulled by Lewis Brunt, and well, that should be a card by the letter of the law. John Busby is going to bring him forward, and he is going to book it.
It's just a silly yellow card to take as well in the middle of the opposition half as well. You know, he's still got 6 players to get through there, Tom Fells, so let him go, get yourself back into position. But like I say, if you've got Kiefer Moore and Josh Windass putting a little bit of pressure on the likes of Phillips and Campbell, and then you got Cody dropping deep, the distances are far too great to cover and to affect it. You're not going to get close enough to put any decent press on Adam.
Hegerber towards the byline down that right-hand side. Similar position to what Fellows got to, still going with the ball at his feet. Took a couple of challenges in the end to dispossess him at the edge of the 6-yard area. Wrexham then get it up to Moore. Moore flicks it on. Oh, Windass is feeding his left hamstring, immediately waves his hand towards the bench. And Josh Windass has gone down, and the referee has not noticed as yet. And West Brom, I don't think, are going to put the ball out. No, Jason Malumbi will. But that's his race run.
Yeah, that's not nice at all. Little ball over the top as well. Campbell was always going to win the race, but with a little bit of pressure straight away, he's pulled up and waved straight to the bench as well. So I think that's, hopefully it's not something he's been managing, because you think, you know what, you would rest him, but for the fact he's waved to the bench as quickly as that as well.
So what does he do though? Does he think about Sam Smith, or does he go Nathan Broadhead?
Well, it depends what, like you say, it's options. You know, I think Nathan Broadhead coming in, he brings that energy, like you say, play like getting behind the likes of Kiefer Moore, that 10, but he can play anywhere right across.
I think he's going to go Broadhead, you know.
Oh, why not? I'm surprised he's not starting. You know, I understand what Faye's saying about keeping everyone happy, but also it raises the level of competitiveness, doesn't it? When you bring in a player, you see what he's like in training and think, wow, well, I'm under a little bit of pressure here from my position. But that's what it's about. When someone comes into the club and then you see him, you see the quality of the player in training, you think, wow, if anything, it lifts the levels.
Haji Wright's added a penalty for Coventry. Derby 1, Coventry 2 now is how things stand elsewhere in the Championship. A reminder as well, Norwich are 2 up against Portsmouth. Still goalless in the Premier League between Aston Villa and Newcastle United. That game live right now over on Talksport. Don't forget, as well as the rest of the live football for you today, tomorrow lunchtime, Ipswich take on Southampton. That's a 12 o'clock kick-off live here on Talksport 2. And Monday night, more live Premier League action for you. Leeds are back in the big time. They take on Everton from Elland Road. That's on Talksport from 7 o'clock on Monday night. Nathan Broadhead is coming on, not Sam Stevens, who's our producer today, obviously. Getting him and Sam Smith slightly confused. But nonetheless, it's the arrival of Nathan Broadhead and him and Kiefer Moore saying hello to each other and having a quick chat, because they probably haven't had much time together so far. Yeah, but I like him. I think creative, he's got energy. He has an understand as well. He'll bring goals, he'll create for others as well. But look at this, look at behind Matty James. Look at the space between the defensive line. It's nowhere near good enough. It has to step up. It has to step up, because at the minute, Hegerber, he's on every time. He can ball into, and then straight away, if you've got the likes of Isaac Price getting off the back of James, Tom Fellows coming in off McLean, you can't defend against it. So if anything, all the lines have to be right. I'm surprised with Conor Cody, the experience he's got, that Matty James, he's got to say, you're too far away. It's either you've got to pull him in. What does that do? It then drops the midfield and the attack, so everyone's distances are right. Hegerberg got his first goal, of course, in the Carabao Cup in midweek for West Bromwich Albion. He had already scored 7 goals in his 13 appearances earlier on in the campaign, of course, in Scandinavia. It's all been picked up for 4.7 million, but he's impressed so far for West Bromwich Albion. Here's Carlin Grant on the far side, a man who's carrying around that £15 million price tag when he joined from Huddersfield, when West Brom were in the Premier League, of course, and a season on loan in Cardiff 2 seasons ago. Last season was back at West Brom, and he's back starting out wide on that left-hand side for the Baggies under Ryan Mason. Here's Phillips down this near touchline, kept in play by Fellows over halfway. Hegerber's there, he's got Cody for attention. Cody was certainly doing his fair share of holding.
It was a nothing ball. It was a nothing ball from Tom Fellows. It's fired into him from Phillips, and because of that space is so big, Fellows just wraps his foot around it, blind, not even looking into the area. It bounced 3 times before Hegerber gets the ball under control. If anything, the information has to come from the side if the players aren't taking responsibility there. But at the minute, West Brom are comfortable playing it round the back. Like you say, it's Lewis O'Brien now. Look at the press. You've got it's Broadhead as the point, Kiefer Moore on the right, Lewis O'Brien. But look at the space that Isaac Price has got.
Yeah, huge gap between Conor Cody and Matty James in midfield. Hegerber working really hard. He had 2 round him, and he wins the free kick from referee John Busby, just about 10 yards inside the Wrexham half. 32 minutes played. You listen to Talksport 2, you're home with the EFL. 500 live commentaries coming your way across the Talksport network between now and that final of the World Cup next summer. And here right now, it's Wrexham 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. The goal from Isaac Price, 2-2 for him in the Championship so far this season. Throwing on that far side for Wrexham, midway inside their own half. Still struggling really to get things going so far. Josh Griffiths has had very little to do to date. Not really saying that Danny Ward's had much more, but he has had to pick the ball out of the back of his net. Here's Furlong to this right-hand side to Fellows. On halfway, Fellows always cutting in onto that left foot, helped on his way down the line by Pricer. Race on here against James McLean, and James McLean does well because he almost forces Fellows into the ball and pokes it out of play for what will be a throw by the corner flag for Wrexham. Yeah, it was a good little ball, quality ball into the corner there, wasn't it? I think Fellows was always going to win the race, but like you say, just the experience of McLean, just a little shoulder, was enough just to get him off balance and take the ball out of play there. But it is a concern. I think Lewis Brunty's also on a yellow card, isn't he? Again, so he's that physicality, he was going, winning all his... Charge on here. Again, it's Price, this time on his left foot. It's blocked, and it's blocked out and behind by George Dobson for a corner to West Bromwich Albion on their left-hand side. Throw this corner away from us here at the racecourse ground.
Yeah,
again, Price getting some space.
Yeah, but he's just intelligent, isn't he? You know, I think going, receiving the ball, and then he's got that ability. So nice on the eye, you know, he can just run with it. He's both feet. You know, his technique is excellent, and you know, it was on target. It was a good block in the end.
Gone with the long sleeves today. Looks slightly ill-fitting, like it's a little too big for him. However, he stood, hands on hips, the goal scorer, edge of the penalty area, waiting for this right-footed corner to be swung over. It's well delivered as well, right into the centre of the goal, and the header in the end was from Campbell, and it's safely gathered by Ward, and it'll be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. James McLean, of course, captain of Wrexham today. He also had his spell at West Bromwich Albion, 112 appearances and 5 goals between 2015 to 2018. He was one of those that was relegated with them from the Premier League in 2018. He's well travelled, I think it's fair to say, with Wigan, Stoke, Sunderland and various others, but he seems to have really enjoyed his time here at captain this Wrexham side during this terrific journey they've been on for the last few seasons. Oh, now a chance for Price to get away down the right hand side, inside the penalty area, onto the right foot again. Looks to then just clip a ball over, takes a deflection and have to be hacked clear from inside his own penalty area, that time by James. But they'll gather it again. There's a foul in the process though on Matty James, and it's going to be a free kick for Wrexham midway inside their own half.
Well, it's a massive let-off, you know. I think Isaac Price there, you know, he's in behind, he's got the legs to get away as well, but he just couldn't take the ball with him. You know, 2 attempts, and then all of a sudden you had Lewis Brunt back in position defensively, sound kind of, and he's just trying to then find Hegeba essentially, but it was blocked out by McLean and Brunt working together.
10 minutes to go to half time. Still remains 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. Wrexham have it deep inside their own half. So I mentioned the first league meeting ever between these sides. The FA Cup back in 1930 was won by Wrexham here by a 1-0. As again they're forced back towards their own penalty area.
Just look at West Brom without the ball. You know, I think it's 25 yards, 30 yards maximum from the defender to the striker. The defence drop, the striker drops, and then look. And then if you compare it to Wrexham, how expansive they are, even without the ball.
Here they come again down the right-hand side, hugging that far touchline. Wrexham, a couple of yards ahead of halfway, but now back inside their own territory with the experienced Connor Cody. Launches the ball forward towards Kiefer Moore, who gets half a chest on it, but again, he and Phillips, it's a real battle and a fairly even one, although you'd argue at the moment at times Phillips is getting just the better of it. It's back with Furlong at the edge of his own penalty area. Griffiths with the first touch, closed down by Moore. Charging being done that time by Dobson. They've got them hemmed in, but West Brom then give the ball away to O'Brien, who misses his first touch, but he's helped out by Matty James. Gets it back, and here come Wrexham again. Cody down this left-hand side finds Brunt. Brunt will have to go to the edge of the centre circle, where James is there once more. And it's Brunt again down that right-hand side, picking out Dobson. And now Barnett's on the overlap. Inside of him is Broadhead. Back with Cleworth on that far side too. And Dobson again as Wrexham just keep the ball, moving it inside the West Brom penalty area, just trying to find a way through at the edge of that box. Now it's swung over towards Moore. It evades him and McLean, and is out of play on this near side. What will be a throw into West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, it's better. You know, Wrexham picking up second balls, and then every time it gets to Barnett, you know that there's good quality coming in. He's fallen very awkwardly there, Kiefer Moore, but I think McLean, you know, I think McLean's got to kind of see the flight of the ball and say, okay, is it too big? Is obviously, is Kiefer going to go and put the head on it? If not, then can I then pick up the second balls and then either put in another delivery? Another thing that I've seen there as well, Lewis O'Brien, you know, after he took that bad touch as he's coming across, he slapped himself in the face. You know, it's not one of them. He's so disappointed with himself because it's a real opportunity, isn't it, to step forward and put West Brom under pressure.
He had loaned, of course, at Swansea last year, and LAFC was out as well. Lewis O'Brien actually scored against West Bromwich Albion when he's playing for Huddersfield back in 2019. So he's been around. £5 million he cost. It's one of the summer signings for Wrexham, and he just expects more of himself. standards. On this near side, it's Lewis Brunt with the ball forward, probably about 40-50 yards to try and pick out Kiefer Moore, but it's well read and intercepted for West Bromwich Albion, and away down that left-hand side by Styles, and now Carlin Grant in a foot race that he's actually done very well to get the better of Cleworth on that far side, and Barnett gets a ball into the box, comes out to Malumbi, edge of the penalty area. Furlong arrives on his right foot, he's going to drill one low towards the far post, which he does. Somehow it didn't take a deflection, I'm not sure how, but it's gone out and behind for a goal kick.
Well, all came from Carlin Grant, you know, just shows the power, the athleticism to come through the likes of Cleworth there and Barnett, you know, but it cannot happen. You know, two against one there, one blocked the run, the other go and got on the ball. And obviously Furlong taking the shot, yeah, we were right beside it, behind it, the angle was perfect, the movement on the ball. If it's on target, it's definitely causing Danny Ward some problems there.
Talksport 2, you're home with the EFL. We are 5.5 minutes away from half time. Wrexham 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. Throwing on that far side. It's going to be for the Reds as well. About 10-15 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. I'm not sure what the owners, who are directly opposite us here and hired away in that area on that far side of the ground, what they're making so far of what they've seen from Phil Parkinson's side. Good turn in field again, but really going nowhere here, Wrexham.
Well, you look at the body language of Kiefer Moore as well. He's making some excellent runs. Great little ball in behind there for Broadhead.
It is, but it's going to get cut out by Campbell.
But they've got to play it. There has to be an understanding. You know, when you're a striker.
Oh, it's Dobson towards the edge of the penalty area. Sips it into McLean on this left-hand side. Looks to cut on his right foot. Drills a shot, saved by Griffiths. Took a slight deflection, low down to his right-hand side. He turns it behind for a corner to Wrexham.
Yeah, worked it very well. Great little weight of pass from Dobson to McLean. I think it was the wrong decision for him to come back onto his right. I think he can actually either take the touch towards goal with his left and then just go for power, or he could even take it first time there. As soon as you take it back onto your right, there's then three defensive players in front of him then. He got the shot away, asked the question, but yeah.
Here's Matty James deliver the corner towards the back post, and it's a free header, and it's a header over the bar from Kiefer Moore. Well, I think he'll be disappointed with himself for not getting that on target.
Yeah, he's risen above the ball there. He's just trying to kind of generate the power as well. He will be disappointed himself, but again, hopefully that gives him that little bit of a lift, because you see by the body language now, he's making some excellent runs that's not being played as well. Just trying to stretch the pitch a little bit. I've got to say, a wee bit too much, very much isolated. And that's where, when Broadhead comes on, you've got to say, look, you've got to come up. You've got to come up beside me. And doing that, then Dobson has to then step forward as well. There's just no communication there. Have we really seen a strong challenge that's got the fans? We've not seen any reaction. They're one goal down at the minute.
And one of the things what you said to me when we were watching the warm-up is, you know, George Campbell, first league start today, come from obviously playing for Montreal. You would have thought he may have been clattered early doors by Kiefer Moore just to let him know he was there potentially. Here is the aforementioned Kiefer Moore to the byline, cuts it back. McLean takes it down. O'Brien with a shot, and O'Brien with a goal for Wrexham. And they've scored back in the second tier of English football on their home ground. And it's Lewis O'Brien. Drilled it into the ground, and it bounces high beyond Josh Griffiths into the top of the net. And O'Brien's on target. The summer signing from Forest, and the racecourse ground is on its feet. They're up and running at home in the Championship, and it's Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Well, it's an excellent goal. I've got to say the technique, he had a lot to do. When the set comes from James McLean, the ball's bouncing, he's got to get his foot over it. He's got to make sure he hits the target. There's a lot of bodies in front of him, and to be fair, Griffiths doesn't have a chance here. Just bounces into that top right-hand corner. But like you say, put the ball in the box. Go win second balls, go be competitive, and you're going to create little opportunities. And then if you're in the right place to pick up second balls and have opportunities like that, it's great technique from Lewis O'Brien. Maybe that slapped them done the job, you know. But listen to this place now, you know, in a game that they probably shouldn't be in. You know, they've got themselves back in the mix.
1-1 then, a couple of minutes to go before half time, and it's game on here at the racecourse ground. Malumbi will head it forward for West Bromwich Albion. Flick on from Price. Comes down to Hegerberg at the edge of the penalty area, taken on by Karlan Grant, dispossessed, and now the tail's up for those in red. They'll ball down that far touchline. There's Kiefer Moore now against Campbell. Does better this time, makes Campbell play the ball and plays it into touch on that far side. The point I was making prior to the goal is, make life uncomfortable for Campbell. He's not, it's his first championship start, and actually he's had a bit of a breeze at times.
And what did you see him do there?
Exactly.
Sprints after it, a wee bit of physicality. Yep. What to do when Wrexham are a throw-in in the attacking third.
This one's over the top for O'Brien. He's got his tail up now as he charges inside the penalty area. Phillips does well, just chesting that down safely into the arms of Griffiths, away to our left-hand side. Final minute of the first half. It's 1-1.
Well, it's an excellent run from Lewis O'Brien there, but he's got to read the flight of the ball. The way that it comes down, he doesn't have to take a touch. Just let it bounce. Just get into your body position in between ball and man. You're inside the 18-yard box. Any contact there, then you know what you have to do. But like you say, you take it on the chest there. It's always a difficult one to take.
Hegerberg did well, and here is Moat looking to bring it forward for West Bromwich Albion on that left-hand side. Picked up by Callum Stiles. 28 of his 31 West Bromwich Albion starts for Stiles have been at left back. He's there again, and he's waiting for possession here, which is probably going to come from George Campbell. As we enter the last few moments of this first half, I suspect no more probably than a minute or two to be added, and it's 3 in fact, and we'll have 3 added minutes.
Windass and
only the one, wasn't it, Windass? Yeah. Any other injury beyond that, but must have been a fairly lengthy one for the referee to decide that. So we are into 3 added minutes at the end of the first half. It's 1 apiece on Talksport 2. West Brom have it. Malumbi with the ball at feet. Finds Furlong, who's 35 yards out from goal. Has the ball out to this right-hand side where he finds Fellows. Fellows is on the charge towards the edge of the penalty area, cutting onto his left foot. Edge of the box, he finds Moat. Moat helps it once more. Helped by Stiles to the feet of Karlan Grant. Grant in the penalty area, just clips the ball towards the back post. It's shepherded out by McLean and by Brunt, and it'll be a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, it's not a bad ball at all from Karlan Grant there, but straight away you've seen James McLean talking, understanding the flight of the ball, knowing that obviously Danny Ward doesn't have to come loose, Brunt can let it go as well. Just good communication.
Elsewhere in the EFL this lunchtime, Chesterfield lead Bristol Rovers in League 2 by 1-0. Oldham have pulled one back against Swindon. Oldham 1, Swindon 2. And Mansfield lead at Exeter by 1-0. Reminder, in the Championship it's still Portsmouth 0, Norwich 2, Derby 1, Coventry 2. And it's still goalless over on Talksport in our exclusive Premier League game. The first 2 games of this pulsating new Premier League season live on Talksport. And the second of those at the moment is 0-0 between Aston Villa and Newcastle United. Kiefer Moore knocks that one down towards the edge of the penalty area, and Campbell's there again to get it away. Very relaxed does the American, 24 years of age. Played for Atlanta and Montreal on his first start against Derby in midweek. This is his first Championship start in place of Hegum, who was sold yesterday. Decent bit of profit as well for West Bromwich Albion.
What I will say, knowing Phil Parkinson as well as I do, is that I don't think that goal has saved them for what's coming when they go into the dressing room. And I'll be honest with you, because I think there's going to be a lot of harsh words said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a goal that, I'm not going to say didn't deserve it, but as you're saying, there's nothing wrong with the way they're playing, but just the problem is the way they're structuring themselves. The deepness of that back line is causing them all sorts of problems. Something they need to fix. Here's Broadhead, the substitute. Helped on its way by O'Brien, but it's clipped forward towards Kiefer Moore, but easily intercepted, and West Brom will have it with the last 30 seconds of the added time at the end of this first half here on Talksport 2. Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Down this right-hand side, Price just gives it away to the feet of McLean, and now O'Brien. Back to McLean down this left-hand side. Infield he'll go, Brunt will pick it up, and right-footed launch it up towards Kiefer Moore against Campbell. Campbell and those two just go side by side, and that's enough for John Busby. An entertaining opening 45 minutes. Wasn't quite going to the Hollywood script early doors as Isaac Price struck yet again, second Saturday in a row for West Bromwich Albion. Lovely finish from Fellows fullback to give West Brom the lead, but it was cancelled out just before half-time. Kiefer Moore doing some of the hard work down the right-hand side this time, finding James McLean, and his chest down to Lewis O'Brien was bounced into the top corner beyond Josh Griffiths to make it at half-time here at the Racecourse Ground. Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Thanks very much, Adam. An interesting game in the end. I think Wrexham and Phil Parkinson would be realistic that they were a little bit lucky to get themselves back into that, because it was all West Brom for the majority of that first half, Chris.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that's down to the way that Wrexham set up. I think with the ball, playing in the wrong areas, not really kind of getting it. They've got Kiefer Moore. There is no one better in the Championship that's going to hold the ball up and win their aerial duels. Go direct. Pick up second balls, play in the right area, and that's something that, trying to overplay. And I understand maybe after away to Southampton, you want to have a little bit more of a foothold, a little bit more of the ball, but do it in the right areas. And then without the ball, far too expansive. They don't become compact. Conor Cody's dropping Kiefer Moore, and it was Windass at the time pressing. There were so many gaps, and the likes of Isaac Price, Fellows, Callan Grant, Higaba getting so much time and so much space on the ball. So this is something, I'm sure there's going to be a few harsh words, but you're right, the goal came against the run of play, but they're still very much in the game. And the thing is, they've not been at it, and it's 1-1. So again, can they go out? Can they go win the second half? There's some big performances that are what you see individually, but as a collective as well, they've been nowhere near.
No, they haven't. But West Brom have been on really good form. It was a lovely strike from Isaac Price into the far corner, his second Championship goal of the season. They just needed to compound it, didn't they, and get that second, and they had chances.
No, they did. I think used the ball very, very well. Seen a lot more of the ball in this game today, Faye, as well. Very, very patient, playing out from the back. Then all of a sudden, 3-4 passes. Tom Fellows or Callan Grant in a wide area. End product coming into the box. An excellent ball from Tom Fellows across the ground. He's tried to put a couple in, probably waist height, head height. They're getting blocked. So what does he do? Gets his head up, has that quality, that composure, and then just drills it to the edge of the 6-yard box on the ground. And like you say, Isaac Price, he must be an absolute nightmare to mark, because he's such an intelligent player. Without moving, he's finding space, but he has that athleticism and that energy and just football intelligence to pick up the right spots. Great connection of the ball, and like you say, Danny Ward doesn't really have a chance here, but then defend better. I think the ball.
I was just going to say, mark it.
Exactly.
Must be a nightmare to mark. You've got to mark him. Got to at least try.
Exactly. Defend that. On the spin side of it, I think you're looking at Ryan Mason. They've got the goal. They're completely in control of the game, using the ball well. Kiefer Moore, a little bit of quality, puts the ball in. It's not an excellent ball. James McLean is unmarked. Lewis O'Brien, no one near him. It was an excellent take.
He had so much space, though, didn't he?
But it was a hard goal. The set from McLean, it's bouncing. He has to get his left foot over it, make sure he hits the target. There's a lot of bodies in front of him as well, but from a defensive point of view, get tight to him.
I always wonder, from a striker's point of view, tell me this, when you catch a ball on the volley like that and you see where the goalkeeper is, are you thinking smash it as a volley or hit it into the ground on purpose to get over the head of the keeper?
I think the only way that he was scored there is by hitting it into the ground.
Yes.
I think because the ball
he
was
actually
up so
thought
high.
About that.
Yeah, and this is why I said it's a fantastic technique. And he is quality. You see that he's trying to influence the game. I think maybe that expectation, that price tag that's on him, but there's an expectation for him to go out there and boss games and bring stuff. He's got a goal. He's got a Wrexham side back in the game today, which they probably do not deserve, but they're 1-0, 1-1. Can they go on and produce a performance in the second half to win the game?
Yeah, let's see whether either side make any changes going into the second half. Quick late goal to tell you about at Pride Park as well. Derby have got themselves back in. They've come from behind again, second time against Coventry. It's Derby 2, Coventry 2. Carlton Morris with his first goal for the club. A penalty. I'll run you through all of the half-time scores across the EFL and the Premier League, because over on Talksport it's currently Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. Villa walked out, by the way, to the late Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train live performance, which was quite a spine-tingling moment. Newcastle arguably with the best chance of the game. Anthony Elanga on his debut 2 minutes in, a great run, but his shot was saved. Remember, you can use the Talksport app to swipe between stations. Right, second half commentary at the Racecourse Ground is coming next, and we're going to look ahead to our 3 p.m. offering, Blackburn against Birmingham.
online, on DAB+, and on the app.
This is Talksport 2. Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Touchdown! Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Get more matches than ever before with Virgin Media's bigger combo and Sports HD bundle, including Sky Sports HD, TV, and M500 broadband. That's big on football, big on tennis, big on cricket, and big weekends glued to the biggest rugby matches. All for our lowest monthly price ever. Visit virginmedia.com. New customers on eligible bundles. Virgin Fibre areas. Subject to restrictions and credit check. No setup fee. Online only. Terms apply.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Oh.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
The boiler breaks, the fence falls, the dog muddies the carpet. Gumtree's where you'll find someone who can fix it, fast. Local tradespeople, from plumbers to painters, decorators to gardeners, cleaners to electricians, all ready whenever you need them. Download the app today.
Gumtree.
That's not simple. That's not simple. Now that's simple. Hastings Direct Car Insurance is simple, because when life is this complicated, finding a great deal shouldn't be. Great cover, great price, and a great app makes us one of the UK's top choices when comparing car insurance online. Hastings Direct. Simplicity is the best policy. For verification, see hastingsdirect.com/verify.
I'm Professor Noel Fitzpatrick, and as a vet, I know you want the best care for your animal companion. Pet insurance can help, but you need to choose wisely as not all policies are the same. Petplan aim to pay claims quickly and without a fuss, and that's one reason why so many vets work with them.
Get your pet the best veterinary care. Save 10% on new policies when you insure at petplan.co.uk. T's and C's apply. Fitzall Media is an appointed representative of Petplan Limited.
Live only on DAZN, August 16th. Moses Atalma, the next heavyweight superstar, faces his greatest challenge. Dillian White, back to remind the world he's not done yet. Watch only on DAZN.
What you got here for us then, young Egon?
It's Talksport's live football for next season, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous. Right, take them 110 live Premier League exclusives and knob them over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
Oh, geezer.
Plank them live community shields and Super Cups over by the Virtue Trophy games. And I think, Egon, that's us done it.
New season, Talksport.
Hear over 500 games of live football.
What's in this trailer, Governor?
Hells, bells. It's another 100 2026 World Cup games.
Blooming heck.
Tell you what, shove a top on them and stick them in your brother's locker. Yeah.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
This is EFL Game Day live here on Talksport 2. Faker Others with you this afternoon. Quick roundup of some of the lunchtime scores for you in the Premier League and the EFL over on Talksport. There's live commentary of Aston Villa against Newcastle, currently goalless at Villa Park at the moment. But Anthony Elanga had the best chance of the game for Newcastle United, his new side 2 minutes in. In the Championship, I just mentioned Carlton Morris scoring his first goal for Derby, a penalty to equal things up at Pride Park. Derby 2, Coventry 2, the score there. Portsmouth 0, Norwich 2. Norwich cruising, actually. Some dreadful defending from Portsmouth at the moment. Harry Darling and Josh Sargent on the score sheet for Norwich. Our commentary game here on Talksport 2 is Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1, Interleague 1, Burton 0, Port Vale 0, but Port Vale down to 10 early doors. 15 minutes in fact. George Byers, their captain, sent off after a challenge on Charles Webster. Exeter 0, Mansfield 1. Mansfield, Fraser Blake Tracy, his first goal for for Mansfield there, a header. In League 2, Chesterfield 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Bristol Rovers also down to 10. Joel Senior sent off. Bit of a contentious decision, that one. And then Tom Naylor went and scored for Chesterfield very soon afterwards in the last 5 minutes of the second half. And Oldham 1, Swindon 2. Oldham still looking for their first EFL win since promotion. In fact, their first EFL win since 2022. They've got themselves back in it through Joe Quigley, but Swindon still leading by 2-1. I'll keep you updated, as will Adam Bridge, on all of that. But our 3 o'clock offering this afternoon here on Talksport 2 is Blackburn against Birmingham. A lot of the talk goes around Wrexham and Birmingham for their star quality celebrity owners, etc. Ian Danter has his own star above his head all the time and is our commentator for this match later on. How are your Birmingham side getting on so far this season? Dance, are you looking good back in the Championship?
I was very encouraged. I mean, I've got to have my neutral hat on today. Of course. But I was very encouraged by what I saw, for the most part, against Ipswich on the opening night. Kyogo looks a terrific acquisition as a striker, and the more that he develops an understanding with Jay Stansfield, the better it will be as the games go on. Look, there was obviously conceding the penalties late as they did was more than a slight annoyance, but dominating against Sheffield United in the week without really turning that dominance into more goals, but the job got done. So Port Vale in the next round of the Cup. It's a continuation, shall we say, Faye, of the positivity that ran right through last season.
Well, that's good, I would say. Blackburn, difficult opponents always, though, and Ewood Park a tricky place to go at times.
It is for Birmingham.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what's your record like against them? Not great.
Awful. Blackburn, 10 matches unbeaten here at Ewood against Birmingham City. That's in all competitions, and they scored 15 goals in their last 4 league meetings here, all in victories. But Rovers have got some problems at the minute in terms of the potential for the disruption of team morale. Lewis Travis has announced that he wants to leave the club. John Eustace, who's already got Danny Bart and Andres Weimann out of Blackburn to go to Pride Park, wants Lewis Travis. It appears he wants the move. So that's not helping Valerian Ismail. There's talk of Dominic Hyam not wanting to sign a new deal. Other players are in the final year of their contracts. It's not a good place. It's
not been a good place for a while, though, has it?
No, but they had some... Watching them last Saturday at West Brom, they lost the game narrowly, and they had some moments. Augustus Cargbo looked decent when he came on. I wonder whether he might start today down the left-hand side, because he at least looked like he had something about him. But yeah, they need a lift, and both clubs are celebrating their 150th anniversary this year, Faye. There's going to be a lot of good stuff around the club before kick-off today, because Jack Walker is being honoured 25 years on from his passing. There's going to be a legacy cap given to him, and also Ronnie Clayton and lovely. Tony Parks. So they're doing things off the field to sort of try and get the morale up in the stands. There are 7,000 Birmingham fans coming here today, although the M6 might have taken care of 1 or 2 of those getting here on time. But it'll be a terrific atmosphere. Can Rovers respond after what's been a tricky few days, because they lost here in the week to Bradford City in the Carabao Cup, let's not forget.
No, of course not. Brilliant. Look, I look forward to properly building up to this game around about 2:30, Dance, at the conclusion of our 12:30 commentary game. I'll speak to you very, very shortly. It was a really entertaining first half that we had at the racecourse ground. I wonder if our commentators, Chris Llewellyn and Adam Bridge, are there waiting for us. What's the atmosphere been like at half-time? That was a settling goal, the equaliser late on in the second half for the Wrexham fans.
It was, Faye, to be honest with you, and we saw similar on Tuesday night. It went really, really flat. I mean, they were 3-1 down to Hull at the time, and the moment Ollie netted those 2 headers, this place was electric, and that's the thing. Where we are sat as well, we are literally surrounded by Wrexham fans, as you can probably hear throughout. So they're much more buoyant. I think they're much happier with kind of the fact they got on terms. But as Chris and I have just been discussing at half-time, they've got all sorts of problems out here because they are playing far too deep.
Do you think we're going to see any changes from either manager? or patience?
Yeah,
Chris?
I'd be surprised if there'd be any changes if everyone's feeling okay. You know, I think, like you say, the Wrexham started winning a little bit second balls, playing in the right areas. I think there'd be a few harsh words said. Hopefully then there's a reaction to that as well. Like you say, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. I think Ryan Mason will be disappointed conceding a goal in a game that they've been completely in control of. But again, the way that he projects himself, the way that he comes across, will he get a reaction? Because, like you say, it's go out and do exactly what you were doing. But like you say, you have to be clinical when that chance presents itself, and you have to defend better.
Without a doubt they do. Listen, they're standing over the ball, ready to kick off. That is the whistle. Adam Bridge and Chris Iwelumo with your second half.
Thank you, Faye. Wrexham kicking from left to right in this second 45 minutes. Then immediately Kiefer Moore wins a big header at the edge of the penalty area, and West Brom will clear away down this left-hand side. Alex Moat on duty then. Connor Cody will come and collect. It's flicked round the corner, that time by Barnett, and now Moore's going to chase down against Campbell right by the corner flag on this near side, and he's won the ball, and he's won it fairly according to the referee as well. Moore tees it up at the edge of the penalty area and then slid in by Broadhead and just slid round the edge of the right hand post of Josh Griffiths. What a chance for Broadhead to mark his debut for Wrexham, but he's put it inches wide.
Has to be a goal. Has to be a goal. I've got to say, excellent little bit of play. Kiefer Moore into Lewis O'Brien, little flick round the corner. As soon as it comes to Broadhead there, he takes his touch, he knows exactly where the goal is, he can see where the goalkeeper is, and he just tries to place it. You've got to just find that bottom corner. Has to be a goal, because the time and the quality that he has, you'll be disappointed.
Broadhead on as a first half substitute, of course, for Josh Windass, who looks like he's done some damage to his hamstring. But what a chance to put Wrexham in front in the opening stages of this second half. 90 seconds played. It remains 1-1 on Talksport 2. West Brom have it at the edge of their own penalty area. High pressing being done by Dobson. I'm almost laughing because it is almost comical at times, the chances people are playing out from the back.
But more so, I think West Brom have to play out from the back. If they play a couple of little passes, then like Hegerber is always on into feet and body, and like you say, look, they've played through the thirds now, West Brom.
They've got there in the end. Isaac Price to Fellows on that far side. Fellows cuts in towards the edge of the penalty area, goes down, wants the free kick. No interest from John Busby in any way, shape or form, and it's cleared away back to Griffiths, away to our right hand side. I'll run you through the two teams. Then Ward's in goal, Cleworth, Cody and Brunt are the back three. Brunt was booked in the first half, the only player to be booked. Barnett and McLean are the two wing backs. Dobson, James and O'Brien in midfield, with Broadhead alongside Kiefer Moore in the absence of Josh Windass, who went off injured. I'll do the West Brom team in a moment, but then the attack again. Fellows on that far side, got support from Furlong. Furlong tries to cut the cross in. He was tracked all the way, and it took O'Brien, as well as the introduction and the help of Lewis Brunt, to block that out for what will be a corner to West Brom on that far side. Yeah, strong challenger from Lewis Brunt, a challenge that he had to make as well. I've got to say, Tom Fellows seeing a lot of the ball, he has done even in the first 45 as well, but the way to pass for Daniel Furlong, who's made that underlap, I have to say, Furlong got his head up there. The easier pass was just whipping it across the front post, because that's where Hegerber had made a run to, but he's tried to cut it back. If it was successful, yeah, they got to his man, but it was the harder pass to take on. Left-footed corner from Alex Moat being swung in here towards the back of the 6-yard box. It's headed forward by Phillips, and it's gone right across the angle of the 6-yard box, but nobody else rising to try and get a touch on that, and it goes out of play for what will be a goal kick for Wrexham. Yeah, it's a poor header from me, Phillips there. I think he can go for goal, just put it back from where it came, I think, but hit the target. He's read the flight of the ball, he's out-muscled his opposition, his marking man, and he's got a clear header of the ball. Now, to put it back into the danger area, hit the target. I'll run you through the West Bromwich Albion team. Griffiths is in goal. It's Furlong, Phillips, Campbell and Styles across the back. Malumbi and Moat in midfield, with Fellows, the goal scorer, Price, and Grant supporting Hegerber, who is up top for West Bromwich Albion. They have possession here with Malumbi, who's 10 yards short of halfway. Out wide on this left-hand side, he finds Styles, who's got his socks round his ankles. Then there's Malumbi in his bright orange boots out wide to this left-hand side, to the feet of Carl and Grant, who had one terrorising run in the first half, which caused Wrexham all sorts of problems down the West Bromwich Albion left-hand side. Malumbi happy to exchange passes here with the American Campbell. And then on to Phillips. And now on that right-hand side, it's Furlong, helped up towards halfway. Price joins in with Moat, happy to keep the ball and then try and finally break through that press. And surely there's a foul there on Hegerber, but the referee says play on, and then Fellows will try and chase it down, but it's out for a throw on the far side, and Wrexham will have it midway inside their own half.
Well, I think John Busby should pull that one back as soon as the ball goes out to play there. Good strong play from Hegerber as well. I've got to say, very, very good play from the likes of Malumbi and Moat. Just keeping possession of the ball, bouncing, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes in behind. Hegerber holds the ball up, little link play into Price. And that's exactly what you want. Again, they're using the ball very well, West Brom.
Here they come down the left-hand side. Styles has done well. On his right foot, tries to bend one. Well, never really had any bend on it. Just floating away and beyond the left-hand upright of Danny Ward. A really good position. And maybe Chris, just a little bit more composure needed.
I think he just snapped at it, didn't he? I think great little ball from Moat. He has to take his man on. He's cut inside, done very well. I think he takes another touch, steadies himself, and then puts the laces through it and asks the question of Danny Ward. He was disappointed with himself. You've seen his reaction as well, just kind of tried to take it on too quickly without getting himself positioned.
5 minutes into the second half, you're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. A reminder over on Talksport right now, it remains Villa 0, Newcastle United 0. Second game of this brand new Premier League season, live and exclusive on Talksport. If you've got the Talksport app, you can switch between. Don't forget as well, 5:30 tonight, your chance to have your say on the phone in as well. That's after we've got a round the grounds with Adrian Durham on Talksport this afternoon. And here on Talksport 2, we'll be at Ewood Park for the game between Blackburn Rovers and Birmingham City. Adrian Clark will be alongside Ian Danter, who's got his neutral pants on today. Here's Barnett down this right-hand side. Gives that one back into Cleworth. And here's Cody at the edge of his own penalty area. Clips the ball forward to this right-hand side. Dobson, who made his championship debut last week. It had been League One all the way for him prior to then. He's just floated a ball over the top towards Kiefer Moore. Just too much on it, but the right idea.
Yeah, but it's better. You're looking at Connor Cody. Now he's getting that touch. Boom, up to Kiefer Moore. Now either picking up Dobson there without even thinking about anything else. Is it on? It's always on. But Kiefer Moore was making those runs in the first half. So straight away, I don't know if this is something that Phil Parkin has said, okay, drop a little bit deeper. It'll suck West Brom out, so everyone will be stepping up, and that's when be onside, play on the shoulder, and then step up and run in behind. But the ball has to go. If you're making little short passes, you're playing into West Brom's hands.
Fellows has got the ball with his feet on the charge here towards the edge of the box. Hegerber with a shot, and it's blocked out quite well by Cody, and it'll be a corner on the far side. Rampaging run there from Fellows. Hegerber was alongside him, and it's his effort in the end which wins the corner.
Well, it's excellent defending, isn't it? I've got to say, it's basically 4v4 there when you've got Fellows driving. Isaac Price is there, Hegerber on the right hand side, Callum Grant breaking his neck. The weight, I think the decision of the pass was right, the weight of the pass was excellent. Hegerber, don't have to take a touch there, take it on first time, get it right across. Make sure that you work the goalkeeper, go for that back post area. If he gets a save, then you know that it's going into your team.
Here's the corner. Marchmore is swinging corners to the edge of the 6-yard box. This time Phillips gets there, nods it down goalwards, but it's comfortable for Danny Ward to gather on his goal line.
Well, again, that's outlet, isn't it? I'm saying that Phillips, everyone in both boxes, he's been excellent, hasn't he? But they just couldn't generate the power into the ground rather than going for goal on the full. Comfortable one for Danny Ward.
Yeah, it was. Wrexham have it midway inside their own half. 8 minutes gone in the second half.
Better.
1-1. Well, I was going to say to you, one of the things that I am noticing is they are, when they're defending, a little more compact here at Wrexham. There's not such a gap between the back line and the midfield.
Yeah, and when it goes into the midfield, rather than coming back, they're opening up and turning. Straight away, you're taking 3 West Brom players out if it's Wrexham that's doing it. This is exactly what West Brom have been doing.
They have it with McLean on that far side, on halfway. Here is Dobson, edge of the centre circle inside his own half, to the right-hand side. Cleworth's here, and he's just considering his options, and the best of those is Broadhead down this right-hand side, who's got ball at feet. Gives it short again to Dobson. Pedestrian pace to the game right now. Noise being made, drums being banged away to our right-hand side as the atmosphere lifts again. Here's Cody. Goes forward to O'Brien, the goal scorer. To the left-hand side where McLean is waiting. McLean will go back towards halfway.
just need to move it a little bit quicker. Too many touches on the ball. It can be done one touch, can't it? And straight away you're affecting West Brom in front of you. You're keeping the ball well, but West Brom are comfortable just shuffling across.
Long ball to Moore. Moore tries to knock it down, ends up on his backside, and it'll be smuggled away on that far side for West Bromwich Albion by Tom Fellows, who does brilliantly. Gives it to Moa, to this near side. Styles once more. We'll just go back towards Phillips, and West Brom have it at the edge of their own penalty area again. We mentioned the first league meeting between these two sides. They did meet in the FA Cup. That was back in 1930, as they've always touched the referee, so they'll pick up play again. And I don't know whether you ever heard of this competition, Chris. I mean, 1971, something called the Watney Cup. It was a senior competition. They did actually meet in that. I've never heard of that, have you?
No, I haven't.
In round one. Tony Bomber Brown, who's here today, the West Bromwich Albion legend, scored both goals that day. So everyone says there's only one meeting ever in the FA Cup. No, the Watney Cup as well is a competition these two sides met in. It's very rare that these teams
impressive
are
that you
kept
see that you
apart.
found it though, didn't you?
It is, yeah. I may have had a little help, but we got there in the end. I never know. I don't even know who won the Watney Cup or how long it ran for. I'm in a football quiz tonight. I probably should know things like that, really. Shouldn't I?
You should.
It might be advantageous.
That's definitely coming up tonight.
Who knows? 4 years it ran for, you see. That's why we have a producer who can fill in the blanks for me. I might need him in my ear at this football quiz tonight, potentially. Here's James McLean down that left-hand side. Pops the crossover. Oh, bounces to Kiefer Moore nicely at the edge of the penalty area. On this right-hand side, Barnett towards the byline. Does clip a ball towards that back post. Moore will get there first with a header, but it's cleared away by Malumbi and out of play on that far side for a throw to Wrexham.
Well, I have to say, there hasn't been an opportunity that Ryan Barnett hasn't put the ball in. It's end product all the time. Now, if I'm Lewis O'Brien and I see that Kiefer Moore is at the back post, I've got to anticipate that he's going to win it. I'll gamble at least. He reacted there, Lewis O'Brien. If he gambles, he's at least going to get to the ball first and get an opportunity to goal there. Kiefer Moore's done ever so well just to keep it alive and put it back into the danger area.
11 minutes played in the second half. Good spell this from Wrexham right now. It's picked up again by Brunt on that far side. Goes across field to Dobson, and then Cleworth has it down this right-hand side, and once more it's going to be Barnett that's crossing in on finding Dobson. Dobson then will consider his options, which include Matty James, and they're working it left to right, right to left, just trying to probe their way through this West Bromwich Albion side. Just stepping away was Broadhead, lovely turn, and now Runny's taken two West Brom players with him and then gets support. Back with James on halfway. Dobson is ahead of him, and Cleworth will now find Dobson, and they are keeping the ball for long periods here.
Much better, really using it, as I say, moving West Brom around, but what the difference is that they're playing it forward, so that's where he's got to be alive. Broadhead just lets it go through the legs. Kiefer Moore's got to be alive to that,
and he was. Campbell just got there first. Campbell lets that run to Josh Griffiths away to our right hand side, who just gets there first ahead of the advancing Kiefer Moore. But this is better from Wrexham in this second half. Very much more on the front foot with 12.5 minutes played. Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. A reminder, it's still goalless between Villa and Newcastle in the Premier League. Derby, who have come from behind twice, are now in front against Coventry. Ebu Adams making it 3-2 to Derby in the game at Pride Park this afternoon. And a reminder, it's still 2-0 to Norwich in the other Championship game that kicked off at 12:30 down at Fratton Park. Throw down this right-hand side. Cleworth will have it for Wrexham, 10 yards short of halfway. One apiece here at the racecourse ground with me, Adam Bridge and Chris Uwelamo. And the atmosphere building nicely. Throw down this near touchline towards Kiefer Moore. Can't quite get the flick on he wanted. And it will be shepherded towards the edge of the penalty area again and brought away by Phillips once more. A little drop of passes with Styles, and now Moat will give it to Furlong. Furlong down that right-hand side to the far touchline. Fellows immediately has the ball at his feet and immediately starts to take flight. Tries to get round McLean this time, and it's an outstretched boot from the 36-year-old Irishman that puts the ball out of play and behind for another corner to West Brom on that right-hand side.
Yeah, he doesn't shy away, Tom Fellows. Every time he gets the ball, it's like he's up for the challenge with James McLean, saying, I think I've got the legs on you there. Just going at him with pace, can go outside, inside. Got to see good defending. Got there in the end, McLean got the block in. But you can see that's But Tom Fella, he's up. He's got the challenge in front of him. McLean, the rest of the game.
Moat again. So far, 2 corners. He's found the head of Phillips every single time. What's he going to do this time? And once more, Phillips gets there again, and it's just looped into the arms of Danny Ward. And I joke about the fact he's won the header 3 times. You know, if he keeps doing it, one of them may just fall nicely.
Do you not think that the corner, though, it's flighty then? Phillips has to generate all the power himself, and it's difficult. You've got to get away from your man. You've got to then. So basically, you're running round. If anything, your Phillips, I'd start on the point of this 18-yard box, so you're just running at it straight.
Is it one of those, though, potentially where they're looking for Phillips to almost nod it across the face of goal again?
I understand, second phase, yeah.
Looks like that's what they're looking for. His Brunt on that far side.
So you're saying his heading's been poor then?
He's only going for its goal every time, yeah. Down this near side, Cleworth has it. Has support from Barnett, whose delivery has been exceptional throughout this game. Cleworth into the feet of goal scorer O'Brien. Dobson tries to turn it around the corner. Lucky deflection. That means it will go out potentially for a corner, but it doesn't get there because it's kept in for West Bromwich Albion by the corner flag. And Malumbi finds Moat. It's a good challenge from Dobson again, former Charlton man. And in the end, Moat has to hack it clear, and it's away right-footed with some power by Campbell up towards halfway. It's harum scarum defending at times for West Bromwich Albion, but the offside flag up against Dobson, and it'll be a free kick, and Ryan Mason's side can make the clearance from deep inside their own territory.
Yeah, I think Ryan Mason will be the more uncomfortable manager. I mean, I think Wrexham have that little bit more quality, seeing a little bit more of the ball, albeit I think it's breaking down in that attacking third. You know, I think he's still isolated, Kiefer Moore, but he has seen a lot more of the ball. I would want the likes of a Dobson, a Lewis O'Brien, even Broadhead to get a little bit closer. You know, because he's like you said, he's not quite won the flick on. Like his job, he doesn't have to win everything as long as the defender doesn't win the ball. If the ball's still going in behind, and he's basically taking him away. That's for the likes of someone to get in behind. So someone else has to make that run in behind. Lewis O'Brien done it a couple of times after he scored the goal. We expect that from him. Or Broadhead as well. Broadhead wants to come to the ball and go on, but he can stretch the pitch as well.
It's going to be a throw-in for free kick, should I say, for West Brom, just short of halfway on that far side. This is always an interesting game to read because you've got the experience of West Bromwich Albion and the guile of their many seasons in the Championship, and the fact they've come close the last couple of seasons. Of course, they did reach the playoff semi-finals before losing to Southampton 2 years ago. You've got that guile experience under the leadership of Ryan Mason against a team that have come into the Championship absolutely flying with such a good home record over the last 3 years or so. It always made this an intriguing encounter, particularly as West Brom don't score many goals away. They're going to need another one if they're going to win this game, of course. It's one apiece right now, and it's a real even contest in this second half. Certainly more even than it was the first.
No, definitely. I think you're spot on. You know, I think we're a team that's got that momentum over the last 3 years. I think it's a real wake-up call what happened away at St Mary's, Southampton.
Here's Isaac Price. Price gives it short and gets it back from Styles. Price again to the left edge of the penalty area. Here's Carlin Grant down this left-hand side. Got the ball at his feet. Onto his right foot. Tries to clip a ball through. It's half clear. Grant will go up to win the header again. Taken by the chest of Styles inside the penalty area. Cleared away as far as former Barnsley man Moat on this near side, and then he flicks it back towards Phillips, and Campbell will go all the way back to Josh Griffiths, away to our right-hand side. And it's picked up by Campbell again. And now forward they come. Moat over halfway for West Bromwich Albion. Wide to that right-hand side where the ball is picked up by Furlong. Furlong will find Fellows. Fellows charging again. Ball at feet down the right-hand side. Furlong's got on the overlap this time, and he wins another corner for West Brom on that far side. Let's head off to Ewood Park. Our 3 o'clock game comes from there between Blackburn and Birmingham. With the team news here, Dancer.
Blackburn made 3 changes from the defeat to West Brom last weekend. No Lewis Travis in the squad at all, with rumours of a move to Derby County imminent. Cantwell, Cargbo, Tavares in for Travis, Henriksen and Deneva. As for Birmingham, unchanged from the league opener against Ipswich just over a week ago. Blackburn against Birmingham, live on Talksport 2, straight after you, Adam.
Former Arsenal winger Adrian Clark will be alongside Ian Danter for that one. Thank you very much, Dance. And that's we'll build up to that from about 2:30. Here's Moat to deliver another corner. Here's Phillips with another header. This one has been knocked down into the danger zone, though, by Campbell at the first attempt, and it will be a goal kick. I think in the end it's been put behind actually by Furlong on this near side. Well, Phillips has won another header.
Yeah, another.
This time almost broke.
Yeah, I'd say Daniel Furlong was there. Carlin Grant. So it's picking up the second balls. It's just keeping it alive. But surely that's a concern. Phillips is winning every header, even at the back post, even though it's not amounting to anything. They're getting a lot of joy from obviously winning the header. But again, there, Carlin Grant's just trying to nick it into the near post.
Clearance from Ward. We've almost had 20 minutes of this second half. Still searching for a second goal for either side. 1-1 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Here's Kiefer Moore. Helps on its way to Broadhead, who looks busy. Central area, 30 yards out. Broadhead to the right. Finds Ryan Barnett, who's going to look to deliver. Cuts in field. Comes back to Broadhead. He's got Dobson alongside him. Broadhead, though, will bring Cleworth into it. And now down this right-hand side, it's Dobson. Broadhead opening up for him here. 25 yards out from goal, into the feet of Kiefer Moore, who was looking to lay off to Lewis O'Brien, who'd arrived on the left-hand side of the D. But it's smuggled away by West Bromwich Albion and by Fellows onto this near side. Carlin Grant tries to take it round Dobson. Dobson wins the ball cleanly and finds O'Brien in the centre circle. Carlin Grant's back up and about again. Not the best of contributions from him in this game so far. It's Brunt out wide to the left-hand side. James McLean, he's got a terrific delivery on him. Right-footed or left-footed outside of the boot. It's gone over in the end. And it comes down to Grant again at the edge of the penalty area. And he will hack it clear. But he'll only get it as far as Cody inside the centre circle.
Yeah, much better from Wrexham. Like you say, putting on the pressure. Look at the distance as well. Connor Cody stepping up, coming onto it, keeping the ball. Got to keep him moving with that one as well. As soon as Broadhead gives it to him, he wants it back again. Cold in, set.
Barnett swings it to the back post. Campbell's up to win the header. Comes down to James McLean, who looks to drill it across. This time with his left foot. And it goes out of play for a throw by the corner flag for Wrexham.
Yeah, better from James McLean. Just sees it all, knows that he can just sit. If Kiefer Moore misses it, then it's coming to him. He tried to take the shot on there or put it back into the mix with a little bit of power. I think just lift it again. When you've got the aerial quality of Kiefer Moore in there, just try and put it right on the money.
Here is the corner from the far side, furthest away from us. Right-footed Matty James is going to swing this one in, and he does. And there's the header from Connor Cody that's just wide of the left-hand post. Wow. That wasn't too far away. You'd feel maybe he should have done better.
Yeah, it's an excellent ball. I think he's read the flight of it. He's just trying to steer it. Probably not got enough of a connection on it. Just trying to put it in that bottom right-hand corner. I think he'll be disappointed with himself there because he's read it well. He's arrived correctly. Just make sure. He's probably trying to take the head away from it rather than put the head on it there.
I think he was 390th league start for Connor Cody today. And it could have been a very good finish. There's been a red card in the game at Villa Park. It remains 0-0 over on Talksport, but Villa are down to 10 men. Esri Konsa is the man that's been sent off. And they're 21 games unbeaten at Villa Park, are Aston Villa. Didn't have a shot at all in the first half, not even one off target. Very rare for them. And they're down to 10 men as things stand. 0-0. Game continues on Talksport, live and exclusive, of course, to National Radio. Have a listen via the Talksport app, of course. If you've got that, you can swipe between your stations. There's a tab for the live commentaries as well, and you can check out some of our fantastic video highlights as well. Now, down this left-hand side, West Bromwich Albion have possession. Moat, midway inside the Wrexham half, gives it back to Phillips in the centre circle. Phillips, who's looking the most potent threat, really, for West Bromwich Albion from set pieces. Carlin Grant down this left-hand side. We'll just give it short to Moat again. And Malumbi. Grant again goes wide on this near side. It's been a while since West Brom won their opening 2 games of a season. In fact, it was in the Premier League back in 2017-2018, the last time they managed it. They were victorious, of course, against Blackburn last week. But at the moment, being held here at the racecourse ground against the Championship newbies. Carlin Grant down this left-hand side. Getting into a decent position on his right foot. Swings it to the back post, almost evaded everyone. McLean's back there to clear it out. And that's going to go out of play for what will be a goal kick to Wrexham away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, like you say, can they stop the cross from coming in? If it doesn't, then you have to make sure it's a Wrexham head, that first contact it is. And then good play. Daniel Furlong keeping the pressure on. No, that's what you want. Defending, been much better second half from Wrexham. Defended as a unit and stepping up as a unit.
Ryan Barnett's coming off. So another change here for Wrexham. And we'll see the introduction of Ryan Longman. So it's one Ryan for another. So Longman enters the fray. The second change of the game, of course, for Wrexham after that earlier change in the first half with that injury to Josh Windass. So obviously this afternoon we'll be live from Ewood Park here on Talksport 2 from 3 o'clock around the grounds. We'll be over on Talksport from the first afternoon of Premier League action. Adrian is at the Stadium of Light for Sunderland against West Ham. And tomorrow morning on the Sunday edition with Henry Winter and Sean Custis, of course, will be joined by Karen Brady, Baroness Karen Brady, Vice Chair, of course, at West Ham, to talk transfer policies, the game against Sunderland and more. I'm sure if you're a West Ham fan, you won't want to miss that tomorrow morning between 9 and 11 on Talksport. Left-footed ball swung over by the corner flag. Broadhead involved and gathered easy this time by Griffiths, who immediately tries to set West Brom on the front foot. And here's Malumbi with room to run in the middle. Centre of midfield to the right-hand side. Furlong down that right-hand touchline. Decent ball now. Could serve them well. There's a ricochet of about 2 or 3 bodies. A couple of claims of hands, but nothing to interest the referee. Furlong gives it short to Moat, who's midway inside the Wrexham half again. Malumbi, ball at feet. To the right-hand side is Fellows. They've got plenty of numbers back here, Wrexham. Defensive, they look really solid at this moment in time. And no opportunity really in the end for West Bromwich Albion to force their way through just yet. They'll go again down this near side this time, but once more it's into the feet of the striker, Hegerbat. Now there's room on that far side for Fellows, maybe. On his left foot gets the shot, but it's partially blocked out once more. And they're still trying to probe and find a way through if they possibly can. That's the question here. Down this left-hand side, Carlin Grant now. Ball at feet. Still working it, right to left. Every given opportunity they can find to try and move this Wrexham defence out the way. They're keeping the ball well, but now they've given it away up to halfway. Keeper Moore's there, that's better. Dobson with a chance for Wrexham now to break down this right-hand side. Here's the substitute, Ryan Longman. He's just on the field of play. And now he gets towards the byline on the right-hand side. Flips the ball across right into the danger zone. Edge of the 6-yard area. And it's headed away by Phillips and out on this near side, but there's no one attacking it.
Yeah, you're spot on, and that's what I'm going to say. And you're looking at Kiefer Moore's body language after the cross comes in. Longman there takes a great touch. He's got his head up. He needs something from Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore's just hanging at the back. I understand why he does it. I did it myself, so that you can come and attack it as soon as it.
Dobson's ball in, and Broadhead's up for it, but he couldn't get enough on it to direct it goalwards. Got the tiniest flick at it, hardly deviated in its move.
Look, they're still having a proper go at each other, Kiefer Moore and Longman. And to be fair, I've got to be on the side of Longman this one. The big man, you've got to get across. You can't just stand. As soon as you see Longman get his head up, can you then make his mind up? Get across the defender at the front post, get the contact, because if you do, you're going to get an opportunity at goal there.
That's where we're in the Championship this lunchtime. Derby 3, Coventry 2. Still Portsmouth 0, Norwich 2. And it's Wrexham 1 here, West Brom 1, of course. Mikey Johnson's coming on to replace Carlin Grant for West Bromwich Albion. A positive change, you would say. Carlin Grant's always one for me. I mean, 1 goal in the last 20 games. It's not really delivered the numbers you would hope. And Jed Wallace coming on to replace Tom Fellows as well. Still club captain, Jed Wallace, but the drop-off last season, just 1 goal all last Championship campaign compared to 6 the season before, probably explaining why he's no longer a first-choice starter in this West Bromwich Albion side.
Well, you just look at the quality that Ryan Mason's brought on. Mickey Johnson as well, very, very, very direct energy, end product, brings goals on the ball now.
Yep, Mikey Johnson immediately into the attack. And here's Wallace down this left-hand side. What an introduction! Within seconds, Jed Wallace, the West Bromwich Albion captain, has drilled that into the bottom corner with his left foot. He's been on the field of play less than 30 seconds. His first touch teed it up, his second touch with his left foot into the bottom corner. I just said last season his goals dropped off but he's done it now. 52nd goal in the Championship. And it's Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 2. What an introduction.
Yeah, what an introduction. It's an excellent goal, isn't it? Mikey Johnson just driving into defence. What does he do? He holds on to the ball until he commits the defender. As soon as the defender steps forward, he releases the ball, wait a pass. And how many times we've seen a few opportunities, players get into that position, they come back, Callum Styles, boom, you take it on, you take the shot on, go with power, near post, give Danny Ward something to save. And it was, I'll be disappointed with that one. Can he try and get a foot on it, get something on it there? But it was a fantastic strike from Jed Wallace.
Unbelievable, the two substitutes just combining immediately as they enter the game. Well, Ryan Mason must be finding this managerial business quite easy.
Well, you should see the bench as well, them all celebrating as well. You have to, substitutes, you've got such a big part to play. Come on, be an influence. But it's pure defending. You know, where's the threat? You've got to understand that you can't give Jed Wallace that time and space.
No, and do you know the interesting part about all of that? I mean, Jedju, I think we would have thought he'd appeared on the right-hand side, and then he appeared suddenly on this left-hand side in that position. They've got some defending to do here, because it's going to be a free kick for Wrexham, probably about 15, 20 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Darnell Furlong is pleading his case here with the referee. It's going to be delivered by O'Brien this time. Astonishing stuff. 2-1 to West Brom. You're listening to Talksport 2. Quarter of an hour to go. Free kick for Wrexham. The Hollywood Stars are in attendance. As left-footed O'Brien swings it into the danger zone, and then it was Max Cleworth who got up in a dangerous position inside the 6-yard area, but he just couldn't quite get it on target.
Yeah, it's a difficult header there. He's obviously trying to fend the defender off in front of him. Hands go up, and he's just trying to kind of make a connection, just trying to steer it goalward. Just never got enough connection on the ball.
Chance for Griffiths to clear away to our right-hand side. Now it's about probably managing the game for West Bromwich Albion. I think there's more changes coming from Phil Parkinson and his bench. Of course, he's got quality still on there, the likes of Ryan Harding in attacking sense, and Sam Smith as well.
Well, it's a bit of a sucker punch, isn't it? That when you're actually the better team, you know, then all of a sudden they make two substitutions, and within 30 seconds they've linked together and got a goal, and probably a game that they're second best. The reason why they've been brought on is because Brian Mason thinks, well, we're struggling here. We're giving up too much of the ball. We're conceding too many opportunities. Straight away now it's about managing the game and trying to kill the game off.
The former Portsmouth Wolves Millwall man Jed Wallace doing incredibly well then for this game back in favour of West Bromwich Albion. A lot of talk, still club captain. Ryan Mason talks about it pre-game, actually still club captain, still got his part to play even when he's not starting games of football. And his contribution with goals in previous seasons has always been excellent.
Yeah, but that says a lot about the character and the professionalism in the dressing room, off the pitch, when he walks in on a training day, whatever it may be, that Ryan Mason comes in and says, you know what, I don't need to change anything, because you still lead by example, you still bring something to the table.
Cody to the left-hand side, where he finds Lewis Brunt again. Back with Cody once more. There's one more substitution to come from West Brom, and an extra one as well to come from Wrexham. Almost ready to go. I think it's going to be Sam Smith who will be coming on for the home side, who've got themselves a corner. Away to our right-hand side. Still plenty of time.
Yeah,
12 minutes to go.
Reacted well, Adam. You know, I think plenty of time. You know, they're on top. It's not, okay, they've conceded a goal, but it's very much started the exact same way. Wrexham in control of the game. Now they have to take necessary risks now to kind of get that equalising goal and then see what kind of where the game takes them. But they can't overcommit.
Well, we are going to see a substitution first before that corner's taken on that far side. Matty James will be the player to take it, and it's going to be Alex Moat here is departing, and he is going to be replaced by Usman Diakite. I'm not sure if we'll get the Wrexham substitution just yet, but certainly the West Brom one. So Diakite will drop into that midfield in place of Moat. So kind of steadying the ship move from Ryan Mason just to manage this game out. And we're not going to see the Wrexham change just yet. They'll have the corner first. James will deliver, right-footed, swung towards that back post. Kiefer Moore's there. It was always overhit. He did well to actually get his head on it, I think, as he was spinning away. And it's out for a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. And now we'll see that change for Wrexham. And it's going to be potentially Matty James, is it, who's going off? Yep, James does depart. And it is Sam Smith coming on.
Yeah, like you say, I think the quality of Sam Smith, get himself up there. He's already talking with Kiefer Moore. Broadhead now just drops a little bit deeper, plays that 10, but again they've got, I guess, that rotation, share that role, rotating all the time depending on whatever scenario.
Yeah, it does look like they're just going to shift the formation a little bit. Dobson looks like the one to have dropped a little bit deeper, as that's helped on its way by Johnson down that right-hand side. Wallace is there. Wallace swings that one back across, and it almost arrived at Hegerberg, who outstretched a left boot but couldn't quite get there as it spun through the Wrexham penalty area, and they'll lose possession. Diakite's there, picked up by Hegerberg. He's got support all round him. Diakite again will pick it up. Wallace is on the right-hand side, as is Furlong, and it's Malumbi that finds Furlong. Now the goal scorer, Jed Wallace, who's put West Bromwich Albion 2-1 up here. Lovely ball into Malumbi, who's continued his run round by the byline. Malumbi still going in the penalty area. He's got the ball at his feet. Oh, he gives it back to Hegerberg, who couldn't get a shot away. Got a touch in the end. Styles keeps it alive. Finds Mikey Johnson. Johnson on his right foot towards the back post. Header and in! And it's Isaac Price for his second of the game. And surely wrapping up the points for West Bromwich Albion. Isaac Price with a header inside the 6-yard area. Nothing Danny Ward could do about it. And West Brom have scored a third. And the Hollywood fairy tale that Wrexham wanted on that return to the championship at the racecourse ground. Not happening today. There's no Oscars being handed out here. It's Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 3.
It's an excellent goal. Now Mikey Johnson fires, puts the ball into the fantastic spot. And like I say, Isaac Price, again, just finding that space. But what I have to say defensively is that when you've got Callum Styles and Mikey Johnson out wide, how can you only have one man coming out? Someone has to break their neck to go out and support, make sure it's 2v2 to stop the cross from coming in. Mikey Johnson, you can't leave a player with that quality to deliver, to run into the box, to open, to pick someone out. It just cannot happen. 2v1 in a wide scenario cannot happen. And then the ball that comes in, Isaac Price, he finds it, just goes in between two players there, and it's an excellent header. If anything, do you look at Danny Ward and say, can you come out there where it is? It's you're 3 yards, probably 2 yards from goal. Come out and just make sure you punch it and take everyone out.
3 championship goals for Isaac Price so far this season, and we're only on match day number 2. Terrific start to the campaign for the Irish youngster. Signed a course last January. He came to the club from Standard Liège. Made an impression for sure. And in that number 10 role in this Ryan Mason setup, very impressive. They'd only scored 11 goals in their last 16 away games prior to today, West Bromwich Albion. 3 more to the tally today, though. And surely now taking home all 3 points.
Well, this is something that was very evident last week against Blackburn. This, sit in, be conservative, concede possession, but you know what? We're still a threat.
Here's Kiefer Moore, talking of threats, towards the edge of the penalty area. And it's gathered by Griffiths away to our right-hand side, inside his own penalty area. From a Wrexham perspective, is this not even a wake-up call? Because I think they probably got a bit of that last week. Is this a kind of the reality to say, look, this place has been a fortress, but the Championship's it's a different beast.
It is a different beast altogether. And you have to be at it. You have to take your chances. And even in games when you do everything right, you still come off the loser. So you know what, the quality that they've got, they will get up to speed, but they cannot start the way they started. The first 45 minutes in this game, they were lucky to come in at 1-1. They've come out, they've reacted to that, and then they conceded. And look at this now. This is where Phil Parkinson will see character. The fans will see the quality, the temperament of the players. They're going to be taking a lot of battles and getting punched a lot. They have to react in the right way.
It was the Premier League in 2017 when West Bromwich Albion last won their opening 2 games of a league season. They could be about to do it here once more. 8 years later. Although saying that, similar scoreline at this stage on Tuesday night for Wrexham. And we learnt then it's not over. There'll be plenty of stoppage time as well, you feel. Here's Mikey Johnson down this left-hand side for the visitors. He's got 3 round him and he can't get beyond Longman. Longman's ball down this near side is towards Kiefer Moore. And it's well defended this time by Campbell. And Griffiths will sling it up in the air. Stays in. I mean, much to the astonishment of most people, I think. Plymouth has it. And here's Cody.
I think Campbell's done very well. You know, I think he's come in, he's got that physicality, strength. He's very, very mobile, but comfortable on the ball as well. Decision making.
Edge of the penalty area, Broadhead, and there is an offside flag. It will be a free kick. Well, I mean, what a game that's been going on at Pride Park as well. You remember it was Coventry took the lead, Derby pegged them back, Coventry back in front. It was 2-2, then 3-2 to Derby right at the start of the second half. 3 goals in 7 minutes for Coventry. It's now Derby 3, Coventry 5. Thomas Asante, Mason Clark and Victor Torp all on target for Frank Lampard's side. An absolutely bonkers game at Pride Park. Derby 3, Coventry 5 as things stand. It remains 2-0 to Norwich at Fratton Park elsewhere in the Championship this lunchtime. And Villa against Newcastle over on Talksport right now remains 0-0. Ezri Konsa, of course, sent off for Villa, who are down to 10 men. Closing stages of that over on Talksport, followed by Adrian Durham taking you around the grounds. And of course, we'll have the phone in for you tonight from 5:30. We've got boxing tonight too. You like your boxing, don't you? Big fight tonight. Yep. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be live on Talksport from 9 o'clock tonight as well. Big time boxing free of charge on Talksport. And of course, we're off to Ewood Park once we're done here. Blackburn Rovers beaten last week by West Bromwich Albion. Looks like they're going to be joined in the books by Wrexham in that respect as things stand here. Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 3. 4 minutes of normal time to play. Cody has it inside the centre circle. You're home with the EFL, Talksport 2. Here's McLean, early ball in, left-footed towards Kiefer Moore. It's going to bounce once, Longman's going to keep it in, now he's going to nod it out of play, and it'll be a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, I don't mind James McLean putting in the cross from deep. You know, I think when you've got Kiefer Moore, he's stretching the pitch, he's trying to ask the question, but I think that could have been done a little bit earlier in the game. You know, Rex, they've shown reaction, it's been very much the same from when they conceded to go 2-1 down. But just West Brom have just been clinical. You know, I think when they've got into that attacking third, and it's not been too many times, they've punished Wrexham.
You're going to see another change here, and I think it's going to be Isaac Price that's going off for West Bromwich Albion. He does depart, and I think it's Collier that's coming on, a new signing, wearing the number 13. Picked up from Manchester United on a season-long loan only yesterday. He'll enter the fray, another of those with socks around his ankles when he starts.
Yeah, actually looks very similar frame to Isaac Price, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's but you look at Price, fantastic quality, isn't it? You know, the energy, just his movement, the positions that he takes up, but more importantly, now getting into those areas and being as clinical as he has been.
Feels like we're almost going to see a little building of a little Championship superstar there in Isaac Price, what we've seen so far in the opening few games of this season. And also, to be fair, what we saw last season when he arrived in January. He was excellent, the standout player for West Brom. Although they slipped out the playoff places, he was very much a standard bearer for him in the second half of last season. 3 goals to his name already in the Championship this campaign for Isaac Price. Here's Broadhead inside the penalty area. Can they get a lifeline in this game? Wrexham, they trailed 3-1, 2 minutes of normal time to play. Here's Jed Wallace on the charge down this left-hand side. So familiar when Jed gets flowing at such pace. It was his goal that gave West Brom the advantage to make it 2-1, having only been on the field 30 seconds as a substitute. Phillips to the right-hand side where he finds Furlong. Phillips again at the edge of his own penalty area as they look just to shut up shop here, West Brom, and secure these 3 points and a second league win for new head coach Ryan Mason, the 5th head coach since they were last in the Premier League. He's actually the 3rd youngest in all 4 divisions as well. Fabian Hertzler and Will Still are the only 2 that are younger than him. And like you say, it felt like his time was coming though.
Yeah, you know, I think you look at the experience, you look at the games that he's marshalled as well. You know, it's some big games in there as well. So, Yeah, I think he's the right temperament. He's learned. Look at the coaches that he's been under as well.
I had 4 head coaches last season, including caretakers as well. West Bromwich Albion, but Ryan Mason, their man. And it looks like it's going to be maximum points in the Championship for them as things stand. 1,275 Baggies fans away to our right-hand side in the corner, making a lot of noise here at the racecourse ground. So few teams have come here to win in recent years. Defeat in front of their own supporters is not something they've been particularly used to. Leyton Orient and Stevenage were the only winners here last season, but West Brom are going to be the first visitors in the league in the Championship and look like they're going to take away all 3 points. Left-hand side with Lewis Brunt, midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half. He's ball into Kiefer Moore, never really gave Kiefer Moore much of a chance apart from just nod it back down, which he did, and they have a throw deep inside their own half. Wrexham, we're going to find out how much added time is coming here at the racecourse ground. Just 4 minutes as well. Well, it was 8 the other night. The question is, will Wrexham start to play now as they did in the Carabao Cup against Hull? Well, it's Longman down the right-hand side that's going to try and get him going here. He's on the charge, goes down by Mikey Johnson, gets it infield to Cleworth again, who will find O'Brien, who scored the equaliser for Wrexham. On this near side, Longman goes down under the challenge of Styles, and the free kick is given. Level with the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Felt a bit soft, but John Busby's made some interesting decisions today, shall we say.
Yeah, I think I'll give him that one. I think Longman took a bad touch, but then he just had to make sure that he got to the ball before Styles, who was already committed to the challenge. So there was contact, albeit soft. I think Longman was always going down, but I think it is a free kick there. But I've just not seen enough. You know, you're talking about the balls into Kiefer Moore. He's been feeding off scraps. If anything now, they should be playing like this from the start, going to the big man, picking up second balls, playing in the right areas. But they have been better in the second half. But like you say, they have to put the chances away. They've been punished for that.
Longman down the right-hand side will deliver this free kick. Probably about 25 yards out, right-footed. It's swung over, it's flicked on by Moore and then helped on its way over the top in the end. I think by Cleworth was the player arriving at the back post. Never really causing any danger to Josh Griffiths' goal for West Bromwich Albion. So 2.5 minutes of added time to play here. Portsmouth have pulled a goal back against Norwich. They've got about 3 minutes or so remaining there. It's Portsmouth 1, Norwich 2. A reminder at Pride Park, Derby 3, Coventry 5. And here, of course, in the other early kickoff for the Championship today, Wrexham still need a couple of goals, a couple of stoppage time miracles like they had on Tuesday night against Hull in the Carabao Cup, because it's Wrexham 1, West Bromwich Albion 3. Reminder, at this time tomorrow lunchtime, Ipswich against Southampton is our live game for the Championship. That's on Talksport 2. That's from midday, and then on Monday night we've got more Premier League action for you. Leeds against Everton is our live game exclusive to Talksport. A return for Daniel Farke's side to the Premier League, and David Moyes will bring his Everton side, and Jack Grealish, of course, potentially making his Everton debut on Monday night. Throwing on the far side for West Brom, level with the Wrexham penalty area, the penalty spot, should I say. About 90 seconds remaining here. Is there a worry, Chris, potentially when it comes to Wrexham, that maybe that not playing it in a manner or a style that's going to suit the Championship? Maybe it's easy for some teams to defend. Have they got to go back to the drawing board and or maybe have a plan B?
Well, I think that's the formation and game plan should change throughout a game anyway, depending on how the game's going. You know, what we've seen, how they came out second half was much better, in control of it. They did still concede opportunities, a lot of corners. So that's something that Phil Parkinson's going to address now with the quality of squad that he's got. You know, he's got options. He can change it up. I'd be quite interested to see the one that you've spoken to. I think you said that he tried it out in a couple of pre-season games as well.
Pre-season games, he played with more of a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah, with 2 10s. Yeah. You know, but Josh Windus has just went and pulled his hamstring. Hopefully nothing too serious.
On the far side, picked up by Furlong. He's given away. O'Brien will clip it forward beyond Kiefer Moore. And well, we saw on Tuesday night people leaving. There's plenty heading out now. Saturday afternoon, I don't know about you, but when my team lose, my Saturday afternoon tends to be ruined. There's the weekend done for me in so many ways. And a day that they've been waiting so long for, 1982, the last time they played at home here in the second tier of the footballing pyramid, a big day with the two Ryans in attendance on the far side of the stadium, and the belief that maybe they could get off to a scintillating home start as that one's swung towards the back post. Well, they pulled one back here in the last few moments of stoppage time, and it's Sam Smith arriving with a header at the back post. A delicious cross, and he's thrown himself at that, and he's headed it beyond Griffiths into the back of the net. And that's the 4 minutes of added time done, but it's Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3.
It's a fantastic ball, isn't it? And like you say, Sam Smith attacked it. You know, it's a great connection, power. I've got to say, Griffiths has no chance whatsoever there, but can West Brom go and stop the cross initially? Fantastic header.
Football never stops asking you questions, though, does it? Because West Brom are thinking 3-1, we've got to see this game out, and then the frustration will be from them, the fact that they've conceded a second goal and given themselves maybe what could be another 60 seconds of harem scarum here. John Busby is going over to Sam Smith for a foul, and one of the West Brom players went down holding their face, and Smith has been booked, and it will be a free kick for West Bromwich Albion at the edge of the centre circle. That should probably be it for the game. Just waiting a moment before taking the free kick. Griffiths does launch it forward down into the far corner. Up to try and win it was Hegerber, and there is the full-time whistle from referee John Busby. So it wasn't to be the Hollywood ending to this game that Wrexham were striving for. Brilliant cross right at the end from Longman, and the header from Sam Smith diving in to make it 3-2. But the damage had already been done by then. In the first half, the opening goal of the game coming from Isaac Price, cancelled out by Lewis O'Brien, but then Jed Wallace on the field for less than 30 seconds. His first touch moved the ball onto his left foot, and he hammered the ball into the bottom of the net. And then a Mikey Johnson ball across the penalty area, finding the head of Isaac Price to make it 3-1. And it was only Sam Smith's goal in stoppage time that brought a little more respectability to the scoreline. But plenty of work to be done for Phil Parkinson's Wrexham side. So strong at home over the last few seasons, but they've lost their first home game in the Championship. And for Ryan Mason, not too bad so far. 2 Championship games, 2 Championship wins. 6 points for the Baggies, full time at the racecourse ground. It's finished Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3.
6 points for the Baggies, and they're top of the table, at least for now, Chris, as well. But still work to do for Ryan Mason. He doesn't look it at the moment. He's full of smiles. 3 points is 3 points, as we've discussed before, but he'll probably be disappointed that they conceded that late on, even though it didn't actually change the result of the match. But what did you make of West Brom's overall performance in the 90 minutes?
Well, we've seen two very different sides. You know, a team in the first half that controlled, were confident, were fluent in their play, you know, creative in that attacking third as well, get the goal. You'll be disappointed at half-time that they concede the goal when completely on top. Different team the second half, as in had to kind of concede possession. I think that's because Wrexham had come out so well, but then we're still a threat. You know, how many corner kicks did they win? How many times did they get into the attacking third? You know, and that was with having less of the ball. Then all of a sudden, Isaac Price steps up again, gets the goal. So he must be delighted with that. And then all of a sudden, when, like you say, Wrexham have kind of reacted to that and they're going again, he makes a change. And it's I've got to say, it's been perfect. The change with Mike Johnson coming on and Jed Wallace, how they linked up, and he's doing everything right at the minute. Ryan Mason, he's prepared the team for all different scenarios. They're not going to have the ball all the time, but they're very compact. They're hard to kind of break through and play through without the ball. And obviously, towards the end of the game, yes, it'll be disappointing to concede, but this is when Wrexham's throwing everyone at it, throwing all bodies forward just to try and get that goal and try and keep the game alive. He'll still be disappointed that the cross comes in and Sam Smith gets to space, but even his substitutes are coming on and making positive influence. And like I say, there's positives all round, and yes, second half, you're not going to have it all your own. But I seen that against Blackburn, who were out and who controlled the game with the ball, that were aggressive in the press. They went, okay, we'll have less of the ball, but when we have it, we'll be effective with it and we'll create chances off the back of it. And that's exactly what I've seen again today from his West Brom side.
Yeah, and they did have plenty of chances, and Isaac Price has been awarded Player of the Match. Well deserved for him as well. 3 championship goals in 2 games. I mean, he is some talent.
Yeah, he's been outstanding since the minute he's walked through the door. I think Adam alluded to it in his commentary as well. Even though the kind of West Brom kind of dropped away, it was no fault of his. He stepped up. He's delivering performances game in, game out, and he's just carried that on. And like you say, that's maximum points. He's sitting on 3 goals, and I can't. He's just such an intelligent player, Faye. He's got that energy. He's got the intelligence, the positions that he picks up. Fantastic quality on the ball, and we've seen technique, all different types of goals as well. Goal with the head, both feet. He can take the shot on, arriving at the box at the right time. He can go and deliver as well. You've got to remember that he's a creative player. He actually creates goals for others as well. So he's ticking all the boxes at the minute.
We talked about the experience that Wrexham have brought in, but it did feel like they were a little bit naive at times in this game. Where do they go from here after today?
This is something again that we brought up in commentary. I think Phil Parkinson, he has options with the players that he has to change things up. He has to find a formula that works. Of course, there was moments that there was positives that he'll take out of the match, but it's still they're sat on 0 points after 2 games. Conceding 5 goals, so that is a concern. I think 24 clean sheets they kept in League One last season. So it is something that will be new to them. The Championship's a different beast altogether, but they've recruited really, really well. Yes, it's going to take time for that team to gel and have an understanding and build up those relationships. And with the experience that they've got, that should be a little bit quicker than normal. But I think the players have to take a little bit more responsibility. If something's not working, and it wasn't working, however they were set up in the first half, they came out. They were a different team. Conor Cody stepping up. He was a little bit closer to Matty James. They had more control of the game, picking up second balls. But they should be able to do that, and that shouldn't have to be a half-time talk from the manager. The players they're in the game. They're like, we are second best. We are running more than what they're running. We have to do something different, and they have to be able to switch it up.
Yeah,
a couple of times throughout a game.
Yeah, they do. Sorry, you paused then. I thought you were done. I was like, you're not normally that abrupt when you finish. But yeah, I agree with you completely. But I think that's just going to take a little bit of time, perhaps.
Yep.
It is a big step up from League One to the Championship. I think it's underestimated, and it's very easy to get carried away with sides like Wrexham and Birmingham, who we've got live commentary of coming up at 3:00 this afternoon, to be able to see that huge jump that they're going to have to make. Brilliant commentary from you both. Thank you very much, Chris and Adam. Safe journey home.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Faye.
Take care. See you soon. So it's finished. Wrexham 2, West Brom 3. The Baggies bounce to the top of the Championship table for now.